return to tackle this very difficult road course. Can the 18-year-old phenom Ty Gibbs make it back-to-back road course wins, or will the field reel him in?
Just too good, just too fast this afternoon at the Glen.
Ty Gibbs, the 18-year-old, taking it to Allmendinger.
Ty Gibbs clears Allmendinger in turn 6.
The 18-year-old is going to win at the Glen.
Ty Gibbs putting on a show yet again.
Just a great race. I'm just lost for words right now.
Another chapter to his incredible Cinderella 2021 season.
Just a dream come true, you know, the one at Watkins Glen.
This is the Xfinity Series Countdown to Green from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The Xfinity Series in the heart of their regular season, closing in on the playoffs. And when we take a look at the playoff standings, there's a tight race at the top with race wins at Cindric, Allmendinger, Allgaier, Burton, and Snyder, all with wins. But on the right-hand side, you see Michael Annett and Riley Herbst on the bubble. Big news, and we're going to circle back to that, as Michael Annett no longer going to take part in the race today. Chase Elliott filling in. Steve Letarte here on the pit road, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, alongside Kyle Petty, DJ, Dale Jarrett. I got to come to you first. You're the man. You've kissed the bricks twice. You know what this venue means to NASCAR and to racing. How excited are you to return, but this time on the road course?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. When you drive through that tunnel and you come inside, you realize that you're at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the world's most famous speedway. And it doesn't matter if you're running on a road course or if you're on the oval, which I had the pleasure of doing a number of times, and fortunate enough to win here. It's just the most special place that you go to and be a part of. And these drivers understand that. The Xfinity guys got the opportunity last year to try their hand on this road course. They put on a spectacular show, and I think that had a lot to do with the Cup cars coming here this weekend. And what a historic weekend. You have to credit Roger Penske, Doug Bowles, and everybody here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway in making this happen. We've talked about it for a long, long time, and hopefully there's more of these weekends to come.
Yeah, listen, all is right in the racing world. Lee Diffie is back in the booth calling an IndyCar race. And this weekend, sprint cars are in Knoxville. Cup cars, Xfinity cars, and Indy cars are here in Indianapolis at this speedway. And you talk about it, you know, we talk about the oval. You know, and when the Cup cars came here many years ago, you know, I wasn't a big fan of it. I have to admit, because I thought we were stepping on hollowed ground, and it was IndyCar's hollowed ground. You won here. You made it NASCAR's hollowed ground. You made it special. Dale Jarrett did. Jeff Gordon did. Dale Earnhardt Sr. did. Those guys made this a special place for the Cup cars to come. Now the Cup cars come here tomorrow for a road course race. So it's another historic event that we have at Indy. So when we look back at the history of NASCAR, we're going to see two big events that happened at Indy. We went there for the first time, and then we ran the road course. And as Dale said, the Xfinity guys put on a show last year, so I don't see why today's race is not going to be any different. I think these guys, when we look at Austin Cindric, when we look at A.J. Allmendinger, when we look at, and you heard it, Ty Gibbs, when we look at the new blood that's in the sport from a year ago, it's going to be an exciting day.
Well, you mentioned the names that we kind of figured were going to be the favorites, right? Allmendinger behind us, his car sitting here, one pole earlier today. But I kind of mentioned it. Michael Annett, the last driver currently in the playoff standings. He won't be in today's race. He tried to practice yesterday. He had to step out of the car. Some lingering effects because of a leg injury that actually required surgery a few weeks ago. He ran last week at the Glen. Can't continue. But who steps in? Well, the Cup Series champ. I mean, the Cup Series favorite. I mean, Chase Elliott is everything we're going to talk about when we go to the road course, and now we're going to see him in the Xfinity Series race. How does that change today's event?
I'm not sure. Chase Elliott's going to make sure that we know how it changes the event, or Chase Elliott's not going to show up in that one car, and he's not going to change the event at all. So I think a lot of eyes are going to be on Chase Elliott. We've seen him at Watkins Glen. We've seen him at Road America. We've seen him at the Circuit of the Americas. We've seen Chase Elliott dominate the road races in the Cup level in NASCAR over the last 2 years, over the last couple of years. So I think the expectations are high for Chase Elliott. I'm really, really surprised that Michael Annett didn't start this race and at least garner some points, because he and Riley Herbst are right on that bubble, and it's getting closer and closer. And the more races he doesn't show up, the less chance or opportunity he has to make the playoffs.
I mean, only 30
Yeah.
points, DJ.
Yeah, and you talk about that, how close it is. It not only brings Riley Herbst right there with a great opportunity, but you have Brandon Brown that's close there, and Ryan Sieg is even within striking distance there. So this is shaking this up quite a bit, even though they have a number of races left here before we get to the playoffs for the Xfinity drivers. This is really going to shake things up, and I think that it's honorable for Chase to get in that car at a moment's notice to do this. We're talking about the current and reigning champion in the Cup Series doing this today, but it does give him more eyes on this racetrack, on this surface, and this road course that he hasn't seen. He didn't participate here last year, so I think that it's probably, he looked at it as a really good opportunity for himself just to make the day happen.
Well, let's talk about this road course. I wasn't sure what we were going to get a year ago. Watkins Glen, the super speedway of road courses. Well, Indianapolis, it is the short track, and it did not disappoint. You see her here pushing and shoving. Some of these corners are slower speed. You don't need speed for a great race. DJ, this was a spectacular race.
Yeah, this is like they were at Martinsville racing on the short track there. And it reminds you of that because this, not a lot of elevation change here, a lot of flat corners. But what it does is allow you to be that aggressive because the speeds get down 50 and 60 miles an hour in these corners. So the drivers don't mind pushing on one another to make it happen. And I think we see more of that. Now, if they can top what we saw last year, especially down into turn one there late in the race when Chase Briscoe was able to muscle his way back through there, it was just incredible. But we have the drivers here starting up front that can make that happen. So I'm excited about this, but again, it reminds me more of short track racing than anything else.
And when you mentioned this morning, Steve, it totally blew me away because I think about this long front straightaway and how much speed you can gather and garner coming out of what was turn one back there and running the opposite way down the front stretch. I think, man, lay that spoiler down. Give me some speed. I'm gonna run a really free package. But you talk about how slow they are in the infield. Dale mentioned it. How slow they are in the infield. There's beating. There's banging. You get brave at 55 or 60 miles an hour. I'm going to tell you. You look at these corners. You look at how wide this racetrack is. You're thinking, man, I can make it stick on the outside. And we saw last year guys try it 3 wide on a road course through a corner. We don't see that very often.
Well, let's take a look at this racetrack and the layout because it's road course racing, which means what? Radio-style coverage from here on NBCSN. Down here, turns 1 through 6, our buddy Mike Bagley from MRN and NASCAR Sirius Radio. And then as they go down the backstretch, they head right to Dale Earnhardt Jr. in turn 7 on his very famous scissor lift. And then you have Jeff Burton outside turn 12 that will get the last set of corners coming back to the front straightaway where myself and Rick Allen will hang out in the pagoda when I'm done here on pit road. So, gentlemen, out there in the corners, you got the best view. So, Bagley, I'm going to start with you, Bagman. What do you expect down there in that first set of corners?
Well, Kyle just nailed it because when you come out of turn 14, you go up the front straightaway, you are carrying a lot of speed, and that leads to a heavy braking zone. That leads to a lot of potential for contact, which we've seen here in the past. And then if you're able to make it through there, then you meander through turns 2 through 6 and then up the back straightaway. It's always exciting here at Indianapolis. I think it's going to go to another notch today, and we can't wait to bring it to you. Dale, what about you in turn 7?
Yeah, coming down this long straightaway into turn 7 presents an opportunity for passing in the braking zone. A lot of guys are going to overshoot this corner, end up in the grass here. If they do make it through turn 7 just right, there's some really small technical corners. A right-hander, a left-hander, another right-hander, 8, 9, and 10. A lot of guys are going to be bumping and banging through there. We saw some great racing there last year in the Xfinity race. And then out of 10, into turn 11 toward Jeff Burton.
Yeah, what you guys talked about a little bit ago, how slow these parts of the racetrack are. That's why you are allowed to beat and bang. And into turn 11, we saw a lot of people have issues with locking up the right front brake and then just running people off the track. In front of me, the grass right near the track is completely torn away from the IndyCar race. So they've been pushing each other off into that grass. I expect to see more of that today in the Xfinity race.
All right, guys, I'm a big fan of radio stock as I get to hang out in the pagoda, sip a coffee, and work on pit strategy. But KP, as an observer, you get to watch these races. Always exciting.
Yeah, it's always exciting. First, I want to say, I don't know where Bagman's watching the race from, but I've never seen a race car driver meander through any part of the racetrack. Okay, so let's be real clear. But what's so great about radio styles? We go from Bagman to Dale Earnhardt Jr. To Burton down at the far end of the racetrack. They see what's going on in front of them. They feel it. And when you're standing next to the racetrack and you hear the accelerator, you hear the brakes, you see the smell or see the smoke, you smell the smell, you feel it, you're so much more enthusiastic about it. And I think that's what we got at Watkins Glen was the enthusiasm from the guys in the corner. And I think that's what radio style brings to NBC. It brings that enthusiasm from those guys in the corner. exactly what's going on in front of them, they convey it to the audience.
Yeah, and with that enthusiasm, you get the experience that they have of watching these races, participating in races just like this. So I think that's what allows me to enjoy this more as they take it from one set of corners to the next, and it makes it a lot of fun.
Well, the track is historic, but the stars make it special.
Yep.
So let's hear from a few of the stars that will be going for the win today. We'll start with last week's winner, Ty Gibbs. He's with Dave.
Yes, he is the hottest driver on the road courses, maybe on all courses this year. 2 road course wins plus an oval. And Ty, after last week, do you come in here with just a little bit more confidence knowing that this is a track you haven't seen before?
Yeah, I haven't really been here yet. Kind of took some notice on what happened last year. Really great racetrack for, putting on a great show for the fans, and hopefully we could do that today.
9th in practice, 5th in qualifying. Got them right where you want them, or a little more you wish you had?
I think we got it right where we want it. I think I messed up a little bit qualifying, but I know our Sport Clips TRD Supra is going to be really fast. Thinking we take Gordon and everybody over there, so hopefully we can hammer down and be able to get the win.
By the way, folks, he brought up the Sport Clips fact. This will be the first time you'll see him in the white, red, and black 54, so keep an eye on that. And you, for the first time, got to go to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum. What'd you see down there that you liked?
Oh, awesome. That's a great experience, and, I hopefully every fan can go down there and see all the awesome stuff. Indianapolis does a great job with that. Going to see super cool cars, from just everybody. There's so much down there, so much to comprehend. It was super cool.
All right, sports cars, Formula One, Indy cars, he's seen it all, and he hopes today he sees victory lane once again in the Xfinity Series. Parker Kligerman?
Right, Dave, and the guy he'll have to beat probably to get there is our pole sitter, A.J. Allmendinger. So you got the pole, you have the best starting position. Can you hold them all off today?
I hope so, but, first things first, being here at Indy, thinking of thoughts and prayers to Bob Jenkins' family. As we all did, grow up listening to that voice, and just it was synonymous with this place and just auto racing in general. And then to my boy Robin Miller, man, just keep fighting, Robin. We love you. I haven't got to see him here, but thinking about it, this one's for Robin as well. So trying to go out there and think of great thoughts, and hopefully be in victory lane with the Cypher Chevy, and maybe see Robin if he's around here.
Absolutely, those two have been so integral to the Speedway. You came close. You were in an amazing battle last year to winning this here at the Speedway. What does this place mean to you, all those people you just mentioned coming here growing up?
It's just it's the prestige and the history of this place, and I think, I know we have history on the oval, and we're making history on the road course, but it's still Indy. You pull into this place, my hair stands up, get chills, and you know what this place is all about, what it means to win here. And I hope I learn what it means to win here. So we've been so close last year. This year, fast car, everybody at College Racing, all the men and women, fantastic job. We just got to go execute. This Hyper Chevy's got a lot of speed. I got to go do my job, and I really feel like if we do all those things, we're going to be tough to beat.
Ty Gibbs beat you last week at Watkins Glen late in the race. He also had 2 drinks on TV here. You only had 1. What is the deal? Oh, we got another one coming in.
You look really tired and run down. You're working too hard. NBC might want to talk to them about that, but we got you a Celsius.
That's very nice of you. Thank you. You'll use that today?
I'm always looking out for you, Parker.
Thanks, guys. So we got hydrated. We've got energy down here. Pole sitter going for the win in Indy.
I love that. Lighthearted at the moment. The 2 drivers we're going to talk about, Ty Gibbs and A.J. Allmendinger. DJ, I'm going to start with the 39-year-old A.J. Allmendinger. 5 wins in 16 road course starts. He's won in kart. He's won in Cup. He's won Xfinity. His car's parked behind us right here. He's the pole sitter. Is he the favorite?
I think he has to be the favorite. I think the experience is what's going to matter at a track that you're only racing on for the second time. And AJ, I think that experience might play out here. But young Ty Gibbs, he's shown us he's ready for each and every moment. Nothing seems too big for him. I mean, he's sitting there double-fisted with his drinks. It reminds me of Marv, our producer, when we're out and he's got 2 waters drinking.
Yeah. Yes, he does.
Exactly what I was thinking about.
He's a health-conscious kind of guy.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. So, you know what? I look at AJ, and you talk about AJ first. AJ just can seemingly, like Kyle Larson, hop in anything and win races.
Yeah.
I don't care. And he runs up front in everything he's in. So I agree with Dale. I think the experience factor here kind of gives a nod to AJ. But when you look at what Ty Gibbs has done, when you look at what he's done in the ARCA Series, when you look at what he's done in his short time in the Xfinity Series, I mean, he just jumps in and starts running with these guys.
Yeah.
He doesn't know he's not supposed to beat A.J. Allmendinger. He doesn't know he's supposed to not beat Austin Cindric. He just runs up there, passes him, goes on, and doesn't think twice about it. So the confidence that he brings in at such an early age, what So what is that? 20 years? AJ's 49. I can't believe what AJ was.
I wasn't going to do the math.
It was almost 20 years. 20 years experience versus the youth and exuberance of what Ty Gibbs is. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
So DJ, I want to jump in. I want your pick. We talk about X's and O's. We talk about simulators. We talk about all these things. I can measure that. I'm a crew chief. I watch drivers. You're a driver. You're a champion. When you see someone like Ty be that successful so quick, what is that? What's the it factor for a young driver?
Yeah, I think that we have a hard time figuring out what that factor is, but I know one thing that his grandfather told me, speaking of Ty and talking about Coach Gibbs, that he gets up every single day and he's thinking about driving a race car. How can he be better? He's on the sims. He's doing everything until he goes to bed at night. And so this has made him ready for this and ready to go challenge this. And, all week I've heard fans chime in saying, well, he's in the best car. Well, I've seen plenty of drivers be in the best cars before and not go do what this young man's doing. He took on two of the best last week at Watkins Glen late in the race and made passes on Austin Cindric and A.J. Allmendinger, both who had won events at Watkins Glen. So I think that what he has is a desire to be the very best at a very young age, and he's very, very talented. And you keep putting him in good race cars, then we're going to see a lot more of him.
Yeah, and listen, we just came off the Olympics at NBC. We saw all these young athletes from all over the world perform with so much pressure, Ty Gibbs doesn't know there's any pressure.
Yeah.
He doesn't know. Like Dale said, he just thinks racing, eats racing, sleeps racing, drinks racing. That's all he cares about. It's not pressure for him. It's enjoyment. He's still at that stage where he's just going out and having a good time. I hope that he can keep that youthful exuberance, that fun factor in his racing career as long as he lives. It'll bypass him somewhere. Somewhere it becomes a chore a little bit. But at this point in time, he's fun to watch.
As I watched him last week, there were two drivers that came to my mind about him. And one was Hall of Famer Mark Martin, and then there would be another Hall of Famer in Kyle Busch whenever he decides to retire. I think he's a combination of these two drivers. I honestly do. And we're talking about pretty high standards right there.
Well, the historic weekend from Indianapolis continues. The IndyCar race behind us. Penske driver with power went to victory lane. Maybe another Penske driver, Austin Cindric, will go for victory lane in the Xfinity Series. We'll talk to him next. Get in the gear for race day. Check out the greatest selection of T-shirts, hats, die casts, and more for all your favorite drivers. Visit NASCAR.com/shop for all your gear today. Well, guys, let's see who is feeling the pain. Brought to you by Blue Emu. It was this race a year ago. Chase Briscoe and the 98 takes the lead, but the battle continued behind the 16 of Allmendinger, the 22 of Austin Cindric, beating and banging, but in the end, this damage to the 22 car in Austin Cindric relegated him to a 5th place finish. You can see the disappointment after the race. I know he is looking for more today. Standing by with our buddy Dave Burns.
You know that social media actually votes on the Blue Emu pain boxes that they get at the end of the... You've been collecting them this year, too, and you're tired of it.
Yeah, I've gotten 4 of them so far. I give them to the pit department, I think Nashville was the only one that I actually kind of needed some of that pain relief, but otherwise, yeah, definitely not something you want to get, but definitely stabbing me there a little bit with the pain relief, because that one was a little bit painful.
We're just reminding you, we're into history around here. But history also says that you improve usually when you go back to tracks that you've seen one time. How about this year? How's it felt this weekend?
Yeah, so far so good. We've had some speed in our PPG Ford Mustang. Be interesting to see what the IndyCar rubber does to the racetrack today. But I know I'm going to be racing AJ. I know the 54 is going to be there, and Chase Elliott's in the race. I think he's a big wild card for today, so it'll be interesting to see what he does. But we got to execute. That's the main thing. Got to get to the end of the race so we can do that.
And that really shows the muscling that needs to happen around here at some point. Did you feel like last year was all on the up and up? Everybody played fair, and you just got the bad end of the deal?
Well, for us, it was having to come from behind. We had a questionable restart penalty and had to come up from that. And really, that was like my one opportunity to get the lead again, and kind of blew it. And then it was funny, AJ and I were talking yesterday about it, laughing about it, and he dove into turn 4 and basically knocked me out of the way and said, I'm going to make sure the 22 doesn't win the race. And the next corner, I basically said the same thing. So, and then Chase drove off into the sunset. So, no, it's all good. I'm excited for the race today. It's a pretty racy racetrack, and as you've seen throughout the weekend and even in IndyCar, really easy to have close lap times and close racing. So I expect there to be 4 or 5, maybe 6 cars contending for a win today.
All right, close racing, close lap time, Steve. That's what we love. That's the show they put on last year. Cindric wants to do it again, just a bit better.
Absolutely, Dave. We talked about already the short track of road course racing. Well, this guy right here, he's a road course racer. 12 wins in his Xfinity Series career, 4 of which has come on the road courses. As DJ, I'm going to start with you. Not just perhaps a favorite in today, but running tomorrow as well. Double duty for Austin Cindric.
Yeah, and you talk today, he definitely has to be somebody that you look at and knows going to be there at the end of this race and trying to make a difference. That was an epic battle that they put on last year, and I foresee that happening here this afternoon. But as you pointed out, he's run some other races. He ran Road America and performed very well there. So he's going to be in the Cup race tomorrow, which will be 1 o'clock on NBC tomorrow, showcasing his talents there once again. I think it's his last Cup race of the year as he gets ready for the playoffs here. But this is a young man that has tremendous talent. We labeled him a road racer for a while, but he's proven now that he's much more than that. He can win anywhere and everywhere, but he's a threat in both today's race and tomorrow.
Yes, once he broke through that ceiling and became an all-around racer, he became a better racer on all types of racetracks. But listen, if you don't think that this kid didn't have Indianapolis circled on his calendar for the Xfinity Saturday and for the Cup Sunday, then obviously you haven't followed him. His granddad, Jim Truman, won this race with Bobby Rahal as an owner. His dad, Tim Cindric, is president of Penske Racing, and his boss man, Roger Penske, owns the place now.
No pressure.
So what incentive does he have to win here? You're right. He comes here, runs the double-double. If he could pull off the double, if he could win today and win tomorrow, what a story, what a last year in this series, and what a way to catapult him into the Cup Series.
Well, it's going to be exciting to watch. We talk a lot about guys going to, as they're battling for their win here today, but how about a driver making his first ever Xfinity Series start? Sage Karam, driver to 31, 7th in Indy 500. Why not come back to the Speedway and try some Xfinity Series? Earlier today, it was the NTT IndyCar Series on the road course at Indianapolis. Paddle Award sits on the pole, leads laps early. But you see right here, Will Power takes over the lead with a big pass on the infield. It was a great battle right here.
It has been a long time, too long. It was here last year in the Harvest Grand Prix where Will Power won. Power, there's nobody better on this track in an IndyCar. Will Power wins.
Hey, man, way to go.
That was the call by Lee Diffie, Townsend Bell, and Paul Tracy earlier. You see the excitement. You heard it. Too long, Lee Diffie said. Will Power back to victory lane for Team Penske at Roger Penske's racetrack. So that is a great opportunity, a great day for him. Another great day, Sage Karam. I was here in May, guys. I watched Sage run 7th in the Indy 500. A great young driver. He started his Xfinity Series debut yesterday in practice. Had a few issues with wheel lockup, but figured it out very quickly. Parker ends up qualifying in the top 20. He has to be excited for his debut.
Absolutely, Steve. He's been very impressive, very quick right off the bat, Sage. So I got to ask you, what has this experience been like?
Totally unlike anything I've ever done. I thought there would have been some car that I've driven in the past that would have matched up a little bit to this, and it's just not the case at all. I've been learning every single lap. I've been a giant sponge and just taking in everything I can get, and I feel like I wish I had one more practice session before I qualified. I was over driving yesterday and kind of under driving today in the cooler conditions, so I'm trying to find that happy medium. I got Kevin Harvick starting right in front of me, so I think that's a good guy to follow.
That would be a great one to follow. So what do you want to get out today? What would be a successful day for Sage Karam in his Xfinity debut with very limited practice?
I'd like to finish higher than where I start. I think every driver wants to always go forward. And, that being said, then that means I got to finish. So, obviously I want to keep the car in one piece, finish the race, and get it as high up as I can. It's yesterday was a struggle for me with keeping the tires under me in the tire life. I'm just not used to it. So I'm just trying to get used to everything on the fly here. So it's been a challenge, but Jordan Anderson Racing's been a great team and been helping me out a lot. And having Montage Mountain on the car, a company back in Pennsylvania, resort there, is really cool to have local people.
How cool has this been for you to see IndyCar and NASCAR together on the same track, same weekend, being an IndyCar driver and being a NASCAR now?
Yeah, it's really awesome. It's awesome to see, all types of fans here, and talking to so many people that have never seen an IndyCar drive around or a NASCAR drive around, and to have them all in the same place at the same time is really cool. It's weird that it's Saturday and I'm racing and I'm watching IndyCars race on Saturday too. So it's a lot of fun. I'm sure we're all going to get together later tonight, with some of my IndyCar buddies and some of the Xfinity guys I've been meeting. And, that's at least that's what Daly's been saying. Daly's been saying there's something going on tonight. So hopefully we have a good result and we can take that energy over to tonight.
He's been promoting a major party, and before we let you go, I got to show your right hand here, what you got going on, this little bit of, padding for the shifting. So that's pretty inventive, Dave, for him to help himself out here with this H-pattern shifting.
It is. Kevin Harvick's looking at that pretty close. What is the hand here? No, look at these hands. These are racers' hands here.
Alpine Star and get the right gloves.
Oh, there you go. So what kind of a rabbit are you going to be for Sage Karam, starting right in front of him?
Yeah, I think our Unibet Ford Mustang is really good. The driver's not very good at qualifying, but, I think that the key to this is going to be to keep the car going forward off the corners, and, the cars slide around a lot. It's kind of fun to just make laps and learn every lap to do something different. So that's what we're here for today, is to hit curbs and learn things for tomorrow that you shouldn't do, and hopefully we can also run up front.
I know that is part of what it is, because the cars are very different, right? But you learn exactly where to place the Cup car for tomorrow by doing this race?
Yeah, I'm just a big visual person, so for me, I have to see things. I want to know where the cracks in the road are, the curbs that you can hit are, and be able to look ahead and have a plan. So not doing that, I'm pretty cautious. So I think the more laps I can make, the better off I'll be mentally.
Okay, visual person. We're here at Indianapolis. We're under the pagoda. I mean, every time you come here, this place is spectacular. So what's it like for you now to come and try to get that trophy tomorrow? Go ahead a little bit and have both the Brickyard 400, a couple of those, and a road course victory.
It's going to be backwards, Dave. So everything here is backwards. I'm having a hard time with the road course personally. Just everything that I've ever done here has been around the oval. So it's still Indianapolis. It's still the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's fun to be with the IndyCar guys. I think it's great for racing. I think everybody realizes when they're all together how many racers are in each group. Because whether you're racing iRacing or you're racing a Cup car or an IndyCar, you're a racer and you want to win and be competitive. So it's fun to be in this environment. I would still prefer the oval.
Steve, what do you think? It is a little backwards, right? You've engineered the oval so many years. To do a road course car here, that would be quite different.
Well, I won't lie. As I stand here on the grid, we're backwards. We're facing the wrong way. I've only faced the other way. Let's talk about that. Kevin Harvick just said it's been a challenge for him to come here and expect something different. Can you imagine? Put yourself in his shoes. What it would be like? Same town, same airport, same speedway, different track.
Just replay what he said. It would be hard. Get your mindset that, because everything we did from starting in 1994, whenever we came here to race the first time in the Brickyard 400, was everything was on the oval. You knew every bit of the asphalt that was out there, where to go, where not to go, what to do in each of those corners, and trying to learn something totally different. And they basically, most of the guys in the Cup Series this morning in practice had an hour to try to figure things out there. So I think it's very difficult, especially for somebody that's raced on this oval a lot of times.
Well, you talk about a guy that's raced on the oval. I want to get Sage Karam. I want to get your opinion on Sage, right? Because talk about an hour to learn a new track. He had an hour to learn a whole new car. Qualified well, but KP, take me into the race. What are the challenges he's going to face now that he's racing?
Okay, here's what I like. He said, I just want to finish better than where I start. And that should be his goal. He's not arrogant enough. He's not optimistic enough to say, I'm going to drive to the front. I know about this place. But he looked at it and he said, okay, I've got a good guy in front of me, Kevin Harvick. I think when we look at this field total, the level of players on this track today has risen. When you throw in Kevin Harvick, when you throw in Sage, when you throw in Chase Elliott and Austin Dillon, the level of play is a little bit higher today. And then we throw in these guys and we talk about experience and running this place backwards. You throw in guys like Sage. He's never run this place. I mean, he's okay with running it backwards, okay?
Yeah.
Ty Gibb, he's okay with running it backwards. He never ran it the other way.
Right.
So is that an advantage for some of these guys? Is that an advantage as we get into it? So it's going to be interesting to see how they go. But I think Sage approaches this with a great mindset.
All right, DJ, I've asked you who your favorite is. Let's take a look at PointsBet Sportsbook odds and see who the Vegas odds-on favorite are. Chase Elliott jumps kind of the top of the list, even in a fill-in role. I'm a little surprised by that. Cindric, Allmendinger, Gibbs. I'm surprised by Chase Elliott.
That surprises me too, but it's just, that shows that your name will get you to the top a lot of times, no matter what you're doing and what you're driving. You've never been in the car. I'm looking at somebody on there that is right behind these two favorites here that are starting up front, and that's Justin Haley. I think that's a good bet. He always finds himself running in the top 5 at the end of these races, especially on the road courses.
Yeah, when you look at this, it's fascinating to see where they went. I don't believe I would have gone with Chase Elliott either. I think I would have gone with Austin Haley or somebody. I'm going to go with Austin Cindric on this one. For me, I just think He's got a lot on the line here, man.
Well, we'll see if Justin Haley or Cindric, Allmendinger can pull it off. It's going to be more from the Brickyard when we come back, closing in on green flag for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. The racing world lost a TV and radio sports announcing icon in Bob Jenkins. We're back here in Indianapolis, but it just doesn't sound the same without Bob, the longtime voice of Indianapolis Motor Speedway over the PA. And DJ, this is what I'll always remember. That's the Hall of Fame booth of BP, your father, Ned Jarrett, and Bob Jenkins. They brought racing to my living room for so long. I was sad to hear the news of Bob and his voice. It's just not the same here at Indy without hearing him on the loudspeaker.
Yeah, you know, when I think of Bob and everything that he did for motorsports in general, he was so versatile in what he was able to do, always so well prepared, and I call him a friend because he was always like a friend when he came up to talk to you, and you know that he was moving the needle. So many times when we talk about people moving the needle in a sport, it's the drivers, it's the competitors that do it, but Bob Jenkins was someone that did that. But I had to call my dad to get really what was the best thing about Bob Jenkins, and in our short conversation, he said 3 times that Bob Jenkins was the ultimate professional, that he kept saying that he was always the most prepared person that they had in their entire group, and he enjoyed working with him so much.
Yeah, you know, I got to be honest. I think the first time I ever heard Jeff Gordon's name was from the lips of Bob Jenkins. Yep. You know, I mean, I think, and Dale touched on it right there. You know, so many times we think that people that build this sport and move this sport forward are the guys that drive, are the guys that work on the cars, are the guys from NASCAR. Bob Jenkins moved this sport. He took this sport to a totally different level. He took this sport to an audience that knew Bob Jenkins from Indianapolis, that knew the credibility that he had. And I think, listen, when I heard the news, there's so many memories that flood. But I am just thankful to have known Bob, and I'm thankful that he was a part of this sport and helped this sport.
I mean, he was one of the icons that helped me continue to fall in love with racing. Always had the best stories both on and off the air. And I look at it, gave us the opportunity to stand out here and talk about motorsports, so he will absolutely be missed. Well, guys, the time is here. We see it right here. Ty Gibbs, a winner a week ago at Watkins Glen. Can he go back-to-back and win at the historic Brickyard? I'm going to go upstairs in the pagoda. On the other side of the break, Rick Allen and the guys in the corners will take over the coverage.
It's Speedway, Indiana, the racing capital of the world, the oldest racetrack in the world. They started racing here in the early 1900s, and they've been racing ever since. NASCAR made its debut in '94, and the Xfinity Series made its road course debut a year ago. As we look at the playoff standings for the Xfinity Series, only 6 races remain in the regular season. Probably the biggest story right now is Michael Annett, who is in 12th in points now, won't be starting this race because of injury. He's stepping out of the car. Chase Elliott will be filling in for him. The guys in yellow, they have won. They are already locked into the playoffs. So an opportunity here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the road course for someone to punch their ticket into the playoffs. This is a racetrack and a place where we have seen bumping and banging. People get very aggressive here at this road course. The drivers and the guys earlier on Countdown to Green mentioned this is kind of like a short track road course where you can bump and bang going through the corners here. And one of the great things about being here at a road course at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, we get to do this broadcast in a radio style. And so we're looking forward to that. We've got Mike Bagley. He is in turns 1 through 6. So MRN and Sirius XM's Mike Bagley will take care of the call through 6. He'll hand it off to Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's got him 7 through 11. And then once they get into 11, Jeff Burton will grab the call. He'll take them all the way through. If they head to pit road, he'll be able to see that. But if they don't, they'll come back to the front stretch, and that's where Steve Letarte and I will be on the front stretch. All right, guys, I want to bring you in from your perches. We'll start off with you, Bagman. What are we expecting in this Xfinity Series race?
Well, at the start, Rick, I'm expecting chaos. Last year, we got a good taste of this on the initial start, subsequent restarts, and all the way to the end of the race. Look at this chaos coming down into turn 1. They're 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide. They hook turn 1. They're beating. They're banging. They're laying fenders to each other. This was with 2 to go. This is where Austin Cindric won that race. Chase Briscoe sliding by. They worked their way through turns 1 and 2, leading on each other through 5 and 6. Noah Gragson there in the 9. What a joy that we got last year from this race. Once they leave turns 5 and 6, it's up the back straightaway where they will be greeted by Dale Earnhardt Jr. at the end of the back straightaway.
Yeah, and how the cars get through turns 5 and 6, that little kink, will determine on whether they'll have a passing opportunity in the braking zone of turn 7. You see the guys trying to get down in there. They're going to try to overdrive that corner, possibly get it in the grass on corner exit. If they make it through clear, they'll go into turn 8, 9, and 10. A right, a left, a right. They're switchback corners. We see a lot of this right here. Great racing through there, side by side. Guys dive bombing each other. Guys making mistakes. So it's going to be fun to watch them go through there. Out of turn 10, they go toward turn 11 where Jeff Burton is.
Yeah, when they leave turn 11, they're coming to turn 12. Turn 12 is a 90-degree turn, a high braking area, and a place to pass, and a place we saw a lot of opportunities being taken. Look at the aggressiveness. You see right there, Austin Cindric pushing it, locking the right front up. You'll see a lot of right front lock up here because the car is unloaded, but it's a great passing opportunity, so you got to push it. And then the cars go through this very slow section, 13, 14, lots of contact. Watch Cindric and Allmendinger get together. That opened the door for Chase Briscoe in that 98 car to make it 3 wide on the front straightaway. A lot of opportunities to make mistakes, but also some opportunities to gain positions on my end of the racetrack.
Yeah, 3 names that you mentioned there. Noah Gragson was a part of that mix-up there. Austin Cindric was right in there. A.J. Allmendinger, they're all experienced at this race course. But we have a guy like Ty Gibbs who comes off of a win a week ago. He's going to throw his name into the hat. He definitely is a favorite for this race. Let's get things underway with pre-race ceremonies. We go trackside now.
Please welcome Alex Anderson from College Park Church for today's invocation.
Our Father in heaven, we are so grateful for this beautiful day that you have given us. Lord, I pray that you protect these racers. We pray that you protect the pit crew, protect the fans. Lord, we rejoice in the goodness that you have given us this day. Lord, we honor and glorify you in all that we do, say, and think. Lord, we love you and we're grateful. We pray all these things in your Son's name. Amen.
Here to perform our national anthem, Valerie Music Company artist, Abby Cohn.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
In only the second time in history, NASCAR will race on the road course here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We'll fire the engines next.
Ty Gibbs is all by himself.
I'm sorry I'm a wreck. I didn't even think this was going to happen at all.
Bonsai move, Ty Gibbs to the lead.
Nice work. Finish it off. Keep digging.
His first career start in the Xfinity Series, Ty Gibbs wins at Daytona.
This is just amazing. This is a dream come true.
Xfinity Series winner Ty Gibbs, get yourself. Yeah! Woo!
Allmendinger through to the lead. What a pass on the restart.
Driving away. Keep her on the track.
I was barreling in there when I saw a gap, and I was going to come out on the other side clean.
You are so damn good. I'm just proud to be a part of it.
I don't think he's looking like a rookie at all today.
He took on the best, and he beat the best.
Let's freaking go.
Ty Gibbs taking it to Allmendinger.
All you, go get him.
Ty Gibbs clears Allmendinger in turn 6.
Clear, dig hard.
NASCAR Xfinity Series racing from Indianapolis, the Pennzoil 150 at the Brickyard. Plenty of storylines to cover. One of those obviously will be Ty Gibbs and his success at this racetrack. But for more of those, let's go to Parker Kligerman.
Right, Rick. Harrison Burton had 4 wins in the Xfinity Series last year, but now, right this second, he's winless. But he's coming off the back of 2 consecutive top 5 finishes at road courses. These weren't his strength, but he said, this gives me confidence that maybe I can break through here today, Dave.
Parker, I sense a theme here because 2-time winner in 2020, Noah Gragson, sits shut out of victory lane so far this season. So what's his goal? Well, of course, to get to victory lane, but also to make sure he's good on the points. The regular season championship is at stake. He's 8th. The team believes he can get to 6th. They'll do that by stacking on the points, and they can continue that run here today, Parker.
And another driver really focused on points is that 98 of Riley Herbst. He comes in this race 30 points outside of the playoffs, but he said, we have a lot of speed, and we've started to get the finishes. We're showing the speed. I have all the confidence that we can find ourselves in the playoffs, especially with a strong run here today, Dave.
Parker, you've got to be lucky, and you've got to be good. That's what Justin Allgaier was last weekend. Once again, he is good. We'll see how they can do from near the front of the field. Well, it's time for race number 2 of a triple header IndyCar NASCAR weekend. It's time to get the engines fired in the Xfinity Series.
And now for the most famous words in motorsports. Please welcome from Big Machine Spike Coolers, Scott and Sandy Borchetta.
It's such a beautiful day in Indianapolis that one great race isn't enough. Congratulations, Will Power, for winning the inaugural Big Machine Spike Cooler Grand Prix. But now it's time for Xfinity and the Pennzoil 150. Let's do this. Drivers, start your engines!
Our man fired up. Number 72, all day. Jason. Fired up.
That's right, the second race of the day on the famed Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course. Will Power collects the win earlier in IndyCar. Who will win in the Xfinity Series? Green flag coming up next. NASCAR on NBCSN is brought to you by Credit One Bank, the official credit card of NASCAR. Visit gocreditone.com. And by Toyota.
I've dreamed of coming to this racetrack and just getting a race here.
The first ever running of the Xfinity Series on the road course at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The 19 off into the grass. Flames were rolling out from underneath that car.
I felt the heat first, and I don't do heat and flames, so I got out pretty quick.
Chase Briscoe at Winnebago, Indiana.
And the Indiana boy is going to win it.
Growing up, coming here all the time, it's unbelievable to think I just won here.
Got it, baby. Got it. Heck yeah, boys. Keep it rolling.
Another chapter to his incredible Cinderella 2021 season.
It is the most famous racetrack in the world, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The Xfinity Series here a year ago on the road course and put on an incredible show where we saw Chase Briscoe get the win. Ty Gibbs has won at one of the most prestigious and probably most famous NASCAR track ever at Daytona when he won his very first Xfinity Series starts at Daytona at the road course. Can he make it a double as far as the most famous racetracks and get a win here today? We're about to find out. Let's take a look at the starting grid for this race. Up front, it will be A.J. Allmendinger and Austin Cindric. Those are two that we have expected will run well. They ran well a year ago, and they start on the front row.
You just mentioned Ty Gibbs back there in row 3. He'll start next to Riley Herbst, to be chasing some of those points, trying to make it in the playoffs. Harrison Burton in row 6. Daniel Hemrick still searching for that first win in row 7.
A little more experience for Kevin Harvick. Hasn't run the road course here, so he'll run the Xfinity Series in the road course. Sam Mayer, you see to the rear. He'll be starting back in row 12 beside Jeb Burton. Chase Elliott also filling in for Michael Annett. He'll be in that number 1. He starts in row 13. He said, I did not qualify well. I hope I do a little bit better.
Yeah, I was shocked to see that he was one of the favorites in Vegas, even though he's in a fill-in role. It's going to be exciting to see. As you see some other names that'll fill out. We have Castle to the rear. James Davison jumped in as a relief driver as well. Ryan Sieg.
All right, Steve, let's see if we can dial up Justin Haley. We've talked a little bit about him and the successes he could potentially have here in his home state.
All right, let's try to catch him up here. Hey, Justin, it's Steve Letarte and all the guys up in the NBC booth. You got a copy?
I got one.
Oh, might have walked on him there for a second. Let's try it again. Hey, Justin, Steve Letarte and all the guys up in the NBC booth. You got a copy? Seems like we have a little radio issue, which, look, that happens at road courses. They have the same challenge with the spotters all the way around here trying to get radio communications. We are definitely add us to the list. We're having
third time a charm? Or
why not? I'll strike out. Let's try it. Hey, Justin Haley, Steve Letarte, and the guys up in NBC. You got a copy?
Not going to press that.
I don't think he wanted to talk to me. I think he changed. Well, I'd like to thank Leaf Home Solutions for the in-car camera. Justin Haley for giving us the clearance to talk to him under the pace laps. Hey, we were unable to connect. Hopefully we don't have a stop in the action, but if we do, we'll give him a ring then, see if we can talk to him then. Let's go down to pit road and Dave Burns.
And Steve, what a spectacular run this weekend for first-time team, the number 24, driven by Will Rogers, and the onboard camera being sponsored by Good RX. The team has another car in the race, that's Sam Hunt Racing, the number 26, but this 24 team, they had to get in on speed. Will Rogers did it, and Good RX is going to give you this view all day long. Parker?
Right, Dave, and Ford Performance is going to give us a great view from Austin Cindric's onboard camera here as we look right back at him there. We'll get to see him doing shifting and turning left and right all day. Austin Cindric was in the thick of that awesome battle that we saw last year, ended up finishing 5th. But remember, this racetrack has so much history for him. His family has history here. His car owner, Roger Penske, owns the racetrack. It would mean the world to go to victory lane here. Starting second, he has a good shot.
And Parker, he's the only Penske entry. Now, Will Power, driving for Penske, won the Indy car earlier today. If they're going to do the sweep, it's all really on Austin Cindric's shoulders as we look at this road course, Steve.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, Indianapolis Motor Speedway are used to the 2.5-mile oval, but now we're on the road course. The track itself, just under 2.5 miles in length. It uses the front straightaway here in Indianapolis, going the different direction. 14 corners, really in 2 different areas. 1 through 6 down at one end of the racetrack, 7 through 14 at the other end of the racetrack. 62 laps, both the first and the second stage, both 20 laps in length. The final stage, 22 laps. The fuel window, 34 to 36 laps. So you can do this stop or this entire race, just one stop if you time it correctly. Last year, leaders stopped twice. They thought tires were more important on a late yellow. We'll just have to see how this race plays out. And back to Roger Penske. As I came up from Countdown to Green, I rode with him in the elevator in the Pagoda, excited about the IndyCar win, and I'll let Austin Cindric know he's going to the roof to watch his second entry at the racetrack he owns. So it was great to run into the captain.
A bird's eye view for the captain for this Xfinity Series race. And I know a guy who's had boots on the ground, has been hanging out with the celebrities around the racetrack, is Rutledge Wood.
Oh, Rick, it's been so fun to be here today. You know what? This place brings friends together. I want to show you a picture of 3 friends from Atlanta that came up here to race this weekend. That's Ryan Eversley, Andy Lally, and Spencer Pompelli. All 3 of these guys, IMSA Racers champions. They came up here. These guys, Spencer's running the 0 for JD Motorsports. Andy's in the 78 for BJ McLeod. Ryan gave it his best shot to try to qualify the 6 for JD Motorsports. Came up just a few tenths short. But if you're looking for some different names to pull from, these friends from Atlanta love racing, stick together. They are going to put on a show out here on the road course today, Rick. That is for sure.
That's very good. You always love racing with your friends.
Until you run into them is what I've usually found out. They're your friends for a certain amount of time.
Not so friendly. All right, Steve, you've given us the kind of the broad view. Let's take a bird's eye view of this racetrack. And we talk about the twists and turns, and you guys have called it kind of the short track of road courses.
Yeah, 1 through 6, that turn complex. Mike Bagley be down there from 6 to 7. We call that the back straightaway. 7, 8, 9, 10, kind of the switchbacks, and then back onto the racetrack for 11 to 12. One more little kink, slow down corner at turn 13, and then back onto the front straightaway to cross the famous yards of bricks. Just go in the opposite direction on the yard of bricks. And that's worth pointing out because the opposite direction, you know, we pick on it, but it's different. It's different for the pit crews. The cars will be backwards on pit road. Pit entrance is very different than we've ever seen. It's a very narrow kind of one-lane entrance. So if we see green flag pit stops, that could definitely you know, take into account who has the best chance to win later today. There it is right there. Yep. Driver's right will be coming at you. And pit road speed doesn't begin until all the way down around this corner to the yellow line. So I know you and I were out there in the pace car, and it's narrow.
Very narrow.
You didn't look comfortable. I thought we were going to be fine. You look nervous.
I was a little nervous. And the pace car has put the field into the hands of A.J. Allmendinger and Austin Cindric. Allmendinger after winning a pole.
And it's going to happen right away as they come through these last set of corners. They're going to accelerate down this long front straightaway into turn 1. 90 degrees, heavy braking.
Once again, excited to bring this race to you radio style. Meaning we will hand it off from voice to voice as we go around this just under 2.5-mile road course here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Once again, the Xfinity Series at the famed Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Coming to the green flag to get this one underway, A.J. Allmendinger and Austin Cindric. Up through the gears they go. 2 by 2, and already jockeying for position as they get ready for the right-hander, turn number 1.
Here they come into the corner. A.J. Allmendinger first there. His teammate Justin Haley darts to the inside, 3 wide further back. Everybody trying to get their footing coming into the corner. It's Justin Haley now that will grab the lead over A.J. Allmendinger, who slipped in turn number 2. Now they're side by side for second. Here's Austin Cindric. A.J. Allmendinger wheel to wheel as Justin Haley begins to pull away out of turn 6.
Haley driving away as the field tries to run side by side through that kink that is 5 and 6. Oh, we got cars contact back there between several cars. Cars going around. 07, the 36 car. Rest of the field barrels down into turn 7.
Get it running.
Got a lot of guys here in turn 7 having to come to a stop because they missed the corner. Through 8, 9, and 10, everybody makes it through, Jeff.
Yeah, they're headed this way. You see the 90 car. He is stopped on a racetrack. Preston Pardus. They're sailing right now with 11, Austin Cindric. Here's Ty Gibbs taking a fight to Allmendinger. Allmendinger off track. Got to get himself back on. Working himself back into the racetrack. Cars just flying by him, though.
So uncharacteristic of A.J. Allmendinger. 2 corners that he missed on the first lap of the race.
Yeah, it started in turn 1 as we now see yellow on the racetrack. Turn 1, lap 1, A.J. Allmendinger misses the corner, loses the lead to Justin Haley. This is the reason for the caution. We have Pardus. Unfortunate for the 90. Preston Pardus had a great qualifying effort. Look at Brandon Jones. Huge damage to the front splitter of that car. And it looks like the right rear quarter panel. Obviously heavy contact for the 19. What a chaotic first lap.
So let's take a look at this. Oh, there's Kevin Harvick as well with a little bit of damage. This is through the kink of 5 and 6. Look back behind the lead cars. Somebody catches a little air. The 19 and the 90. Oh, that looks like Harrison Burton gets up in the air. Everybody behind him, oh, they're all jumping that curb. Goodness gracious. There, see that orange curb? It's on the outside edge of that exit of turn 6. And it is extremely aggressive, apparently. And a lot of these guys destroyed their race cars jumping across that. So when you're going through turn 5 and 6, it's a full throttle corner. It's a kink. But you cannot see the curbs when you're following other cars through there. Those guys had no idea what they were approaching to when they ran wide. And here is later in the lap to 16, missing the corner again. Just easy to do here, Jeff.
Yeah, it really is. Just battling Ty Gibbs, trying to carry a little bit too much speed on the outside. But this is amazing to me that all of these cars, all these drivers hit this curb. It just, you know, what makes me wonder what surprised them. Like, see, Noah Gregson, he was right there. You didn't see his car move like that. It's really odd looking. These cars, they had practice yesterday, and it's multiple ones that are hitting that curb. It's even back behind, they're still hitting it.
And Steve, that's a curb that I know that between IndyCar and NASCAR, they had talked about making some changes as far as the turtles, putting the turtles out there on the track.
Yeah, so you see how far on the outside of this curb. See, the blue and white curb is the exit of turn 6. Now, the cars are allowed to go wide of that for sure. But this red curb right here in the screen, I don't believe they were actually getting that far out. And apparently some of these cars a little bit lower than others in that particular part of the racetrack could just attack that curb the wrong way.
It caught a lot of them off guard, and so the caution has come out here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We'll be back for the restart.
Under yellow here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway after a bizarre first lap where a lot of cars made contact with that orange curb. So this is practice yesterday on board with Justin Haley through the same area, and stop and look right there. You see that orange curb? I question, was it there? How did the drivers not know it was there? Well, this was practice. It proves it was on the racetrack. So Jeff Burton, Dale Jr., I'll kick it to you as our race car drivers. Do you think this is purely going through there too wide, totally different, and they had no idea that curb was all the way out to the left? Harrison Burton, huge damage.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you never got pushed out there. You never pushed your car that hard to get out there. So even though it was there, I bet they never even saw it. And then when you go through there side by side, the guys underneath you, remember, the guy underneath you, he didn't know it was there either. So the racetrack, he believes, is all the way out to the grass. So he's pushing his car as hard as he can and just pushing the guy on the outside out toward the grass, not toward that curb. Now, they all knew it was there, should have known it was there. Why is it there? I don't understand why it's there. The grass should be the limiter, not that curb.
That's a legitimate question on why they feel it needs to be there. I will say that track limits is a big conversation in road course racing and how much off track they want to run. There is grass to the driver's left there, but to Jeff's point, it wasn't new. Let's listen into the 99 of Kevin Harvick about his view of the incident.
Perfect, Rebel. We all just hit some, whatever was on the outside.
Got a tire down or anything? I can't see.
The whole front's knocked off, the sway bar's off, everything.
So, you know, it's awful to say, but Kevin Harvick told us before the race, hey, I want to run this race to kind of learn about the ins and outs of the racetrack. Well, Dave, I'm not sure this is exactly what Harvick wanted to learn, but a lesson I'm sure he has learned, and all the Cup guys watching will have to definitely make note of that curbing.
There is one to check off the list. Do not get wide in turn number 6 to the left, because you're going to hit that turtle. But they may try to repair this 99 car just to get Kevin back out there and get some laps. He could learn something similar. Biggest problem is they have a fitting knocked off the power steering pump, so they'll want to work on that. And as he mentioned, the anti-roll bar or the sway bar knocked off where it attaches to the chassis. So a lot of work to do. We'll see if they get Kevin back out here to learn some more about this track, which we just learned can be treacherous if you're way offline.
Yeah, we saw the 20 of Harrison Burton. A lot of damage to the front of that car as well. Listen to his radio.
Big damage. He just ran us straight over the rumble strip. I see it. I was on his outside. He just ran me all the way to the rumble strip.
So drivers, you know, pushing the limits of trying to get through that turn.
Yeah, so he's not complaining about the curbing being out there. He must have felt like he knew it was there, but he felt like he got run over. Look at the huge ramp. 4 cars in a row. I mean, and then here comes Harvick, a 5th. The 36 of Alex Labay, he's almost to the outside of it.
Yeah, Steve, the cars underneath the cars on the outside, they didn't know it was there, right? So their limit is they're trying to put the car on the outside all the way to the grass, right? And so they didn't even know that thing was there, and they ran the guys into that curve not even understanding it. Makes me wonder, was it there last year? It really, because every driver was surprised.
Yeah, there's always makes changes to the road courses. I'm not sure about last year, to be quite honest, Jeff. It's but this is huge damage for all of the leaders.
We're going to try it again, and A.J. Allmendinger, Justin Haley actually will be up front now, as Austin Cindric will be beside him. Allmendinger struggling on that first lap, has fallen back to the 4th row. So Haley on the inside now. Ty Gibbs already looking to the inside, trying to make a pass. He's got Justin Haley outside him. Austin Cindric running second right now. And Haley is going to navigate turn number 1 first.
He'll grab the lead out of 1 through 2. Austin Cindric will get second. Here's Justin Allgaier giving Ty Gibbs the business. That's the side-by-side battle for third. Allgaier in the 7. You've got Gibbs in the 54. Here they come through 5 through 6. Let's see if they keep it out of the rumble strip there, and they do, and set sail for turn 7.
Everybody through clean without any more damage on that rumble strip. Look at Noah Gragson to the outside. Not really the preferred line right here going into this turn 3 wide. Really tight battles here through 8, 9, and 10. Going to see some awesome racing through here all day long. Headed to you, Jeff.
Yeah, it's so much fun through here. Cars are really slow in this section, and then they lead to this part of the racetrack where they're in the gas really hard. This is a great opportunity to try to outbrake someone. This is where A.J. Allmendinger ran off course just a little bit ago into the grass. See Myatt Snyder, he and Noah Gragson having a good battle. Look how slow they are right here. This is where these cars are going to get bunched up all day. We're going to see contact from the start to the end.
Noah Gragson, we saw him a year ago throw his hat into, or his name into the hat as far as the mix for trying to get the win a year ago. Noah Gragson running strong here as he's running in the 7th position, but it's Myatt Snyder who's making the move as he goes by that 9 and has the preferred line on the inside.
He'll dive it in deep coming into 1. This is for a battle just outside of the top 5. Gragson, though, will grab the spot back. And as you're right on board there with Will Rogers, he's got a great front row seat of Daniel Hemrick's back bumper. Hemrick is trying to get in this mix as well. They're working to the right-hander turn 4. Rogers just trying to slide it through, down underneath, but he can't make that pass as they head through the chicane.
Out of the chicane, a guy trying to recover a lot of lost positions there. A.J. Allmendinger watches this battle in front of him. They head down into turn 7. A.J. looks to the inside of Myatt Snyder. Thinks a little bit better of it, falls back in line. Hemrick looking for an opportunity to take advantage of anybody who gets off line here. It's easy to do in this part of the track. You mess up one corner, it's going to mess up all the rest.
100%, Junior. You mess up the start of these corners because they're so slow, it just compounds the problem. Riding along here with Will Rogers, a good RX camera. You can see this 90-degree corner, how slow they get and how close they get. One little mistake, it's easy to get into the guy in front of you. This battle continues. Look at A.J. Allmendinger trying to stay out wide to get a big run on Myatt Snyder heading to the front straightaway.
Rick, we talked so much about that curbing, and we should go back. You know, A.J. Allmendinger was the pole sitter to this event, and just so uncharacteristic. Missed turn 1, missed another corner, and it's given up some spots all the way back in the 8th position.
Right now, A.J. Allmendinger is trying to regain that lost ground. He had a horrible first lap and found himself near all that chaos that broke loose through turns 5 and 6. Here's Dinger in the 16. You got Myatt Snyder in the 2. They're racing for the 7th position. Now, Dinger's gotten by Snyder. Now he's trying to set sail, Dale, get closer to the front, but he's got a lot of ground to make up after he lost all of it there on the opening lap sequence.
He's one of the best. If he can make that ground up, he'll do it. All the cars fishtail out of turn 6, down that straightaway into 7. Haley still leads. Cindric, Allgaier, Gibbs, the top 4. They switch back and forth, changing directions through turns 8, 9, and 10. The rest of the field following through. No major drama over here, Jeff.
Yeah, back up front. See the 7 car, Justin Allgaier. Good road racer. Trying to run down these guys in front of him, and then maybe the hottest guy in NASCAR, Ty Gibbs, trying to put the pressure. Allgaier is such a slow part of the racetrack, trying to use all the curb. This is such an important corner, 14, because it leads to the front straightaway where you and Rick are. You and Rick and Steve are.
All of us. And Allgaier out in front right now of Ty Gibbs. Has a lot of pressure on him, Dave.
He does. Let's watch down into the braking zone. I'm not doing radio style, but I'll sound like it. Here comes Ty Gibbs. He looks down to the inside, and Allgaier is going to have the outside line. Ty Gibbs the preferred line, but now Allgaier will have the inside coming back. Both solid road racers. Allgaier was so much more experienced, but this year Ty Gibbs has been just spectacular.
Ty Gibbs is going to take over that position from Allgaier. And right behind them, a guy who really needs a great run today, Riley Herbst in that 98. Sitting on the outside looking in on the points into the playoffs with the net out of this race. It's a great opportunity for him to get a chunk of points today. He needs a smooth day. He needs to get as many points as he can through these stages and a great result.
And this is the kind of racetrack that I think suits Riley Herbst. He hasn't had the finishes, but he runs his best on the road courses. Even last year, watching him, he led some races. He does a nice job on the road courses. This is an opportunity for him, and I think he'll take advantage of it. I think today is just his comfort zone. He can relax a little bit. Just go do his thing and put the pass behind him. Just go lay some points down, trying to get himself in these playoffs.
And, of course, it's going to be a big points day for Riley Herbst. Mike Lynette not in the field. We take a quick break. Make sure to download the official app of NASCAR and follow the action with free live scoring. You can get in-car cameras as well as a radio broadcast. Just search NASCAR in your app store, and you can download and start a free trial today. You're watching the Pennzoil 150 at the Brickyard. And a great vantage point right here. Justin Haley out in front, bumper cam right on the asphalt here as he will get back into turn number 1. He right now has a almost 1 second lead over Austin Cindric.
What a great shot, Rick, coming into 1. This is the left-hander, turn number 2. And you can hear Haley just working the throttle through this end of the racetrack. You really want to mash the gas right here, but you can't. You got to be patient, and you got to exercise a level of finesse. This is the right-hander, turn 4, right on the rumble strips. And here's that chicane that set people in fits on that opening lap. He just glides right through there, off course, and brings it online onto the back straightaway.
Yeah, running by yourself, that's wide open through that chicane all the way down. And he hit chip a little bit right there in the braking zone. That's a great notification to
I know
lift.
you're trying to get it going.
Start braking. Stay off the curb in turn 7. It'll shoot you to the right. Put you offline for turn 8 here. Use a lot of the curb in 8, 9, and turn 10. These are flat curves. You can drive all over the top of them.
So here we see right here the 39 car. Let's see what happened to Ryan Sieg. Just drives in the corner, trying to carry as much speed as he can. Oh, under throttle. Just trying to lay the throttle down. The rear tires didn't stick for him.
He was running in the 31st position and loses that with the spin. Parker.
Well, Rick, Brandon Jones was one of those cars in that initial off of turn 6 issues with the curb. So you and I were just discussing it. You knew it was there, but you thought maybe the cars in front of you would have seen it when you guys all hit it.
Yeah, our vantage points are so tough in these cars, especially when you're packed up that tight, especially after a restart. Like you said, we all knew it was there all weekend long when none of us hit it. It's the fact that when we just cannot see anything, you have to go off of what the guy in front of you is doing. My idea and thought process was, okay, I need to get set up to the left for that turn 7 on that left-hander. So kind of using that runoff room there. And at least I go back and look at the replay. I'm not the only one that did it. A lot of really good fast race cars got destroyed in that. So, man, I hate it for Menards. I hate it for Atlas. All they do for us in the sport. And didn't even make a lap today. So we had a super capable of winning this race, and our road course program is really getting incredible these last couple races. So unfortunately, we're getting closing down to the end of them, but we'll continue to push and go to the next week because we've got fast supers.
Understandably frustrated, Rick.
Yeah, frustrated as we see Riley Herbst get by Allgaier. We go back to that incident that took place, which collected Brandon Jones.
So Paul Harvey, we went back, tried to get the rest of the story. On the left-hand side last year on board with Justin Haley, you see right here, no orange curbing. On the right-hand side, you see it. It exists right here. Now, it's obviously to me that Justin Haley is using less curbing as it was. We asked NASCAR why the curbing was there as we see Ryan Sieg spun around again, and they basically said that asphalt to the left of the curb, it's not racing asphalt. It doesn't look like this. It's deteriorating. The condition's not very good. The track wanted to put some curbing in there to encourage the drivers to stay more on the racetrack. You heard from Brandon that he was clear that it was there. Bagley, I just think the drivers, like he said, he thought the guys in front of him wouldn't run it over. So if they went in there, he thought he was in the clear.
Well, at least they know now, but unfortunately there had to be some sacrificial lambs, and those 4 that ran over them are in the garage trying to fix damage, and one's back out on the racetrack. Here's a battle for the lead. You're on board with Austin Cindric. He's running in second. He's caught Justin Haley. He just can't get by him. Cindric waiting for the opportunity to shut it down and maybe take the lead for the first time of the afternoon.
But how about the job Justin Haley's doing? We look at Austin Cindric as maybe one of the best road racers in the field next to A.J. Allmendinger, and Justin Haley, who had an amazing result here last year, sits here and paces the field right out in front of Cindric. Cindric maybe a little bit quicker, but can get no closer than this right here as they go into turn 6. A little slip right there from Haley. Those things right there will allow that 22 to close in.
And not only that, but when you slip like that, you're hurting those rear tires. The drivers have talked a lot about trying to save rear tires on this racetrack because they go away. So every time you see the car slide, you're hurting those rear tires. Austin Cindric going to put the pressure on. Austin's so good in the braking zone. That seems to be his strength. He's going to try to take advantage of that and apply the pressure to Haley coming on the front straightaway.
I mean, Justin Haley, second here a year ago. And let's remember, going full-time Cup Series racing next year for the Call-It organization. He would love to get, what did I say? Fill that trophy case. Isn't that what Chris Rice says? Racing for trophies.
Yeah, and he's running right now in front of one of the best at road courses. His best this year, second at Mid-Ohio. So Haley getting better on the road courses.
Austin tried to send it on in there. He's got to jump on the binders. He tried to outbrake Haley into one. It didn't pay off. But here they come through turn 2, and right now into the right-hander 3. Both cars hugging the inside of the racetrack. Cindric, though, about a half car length behind, staying with him, and his drive off these corners is very impressive. He needs more drive off to get the lead, but he's getting there, Junior. He's shutting it down to a car length now, leading 6.
He's not able to close in the kink there of 5 and 6. He pulls over, gets a little clean air through the ducts for the brakes. Those brakes working really good, closes in. Kind of gets a little bit wide for the setup for turn 8, using a little more curve there. Again, 22 car using a little bit more curve. Dives in right here. Little contact right there. That's what we're going to see all day long in these slow corners.
Haley knows he's there now. That contact sent a message from Cindric. Haley's back of the car. It's just not stuck in the racetrack. Cindric knows it. Now's go time. Now's the time to really apply the pressure. Now, right there is where Cindric has an advantage as they try to lay the throttle down. Look at Cindric staying out really late to try to straighten out this part of the racetrack. Haley doing what he needs to do, though, to protect that lead. Might be a battle getting into 1.
Yeah, trying.
Break. Don't let him get you into a pinch.
Trying to put the pressure
locks him up, just cross him up.
on Haley as they dive into number 1. Here comes Cindric. He looks for the lead. To the inside of Haley he goes. Cindric outbreaks him.
Side by side into 1. Cindric's going to slide it in on the inside. He'll grab the point before they leave 1. But Haley's now going to try to stay with him. That's exactly what you're going to have to do. You give Austin Cindric the lead on these road courses, and he'll wave bye-bye to you in a heartbeat. That's what he's trying to do now. They're in 4. You're looking from Justin Haley's front bumper. Here they come through the chicane, and Haley wants the lead back, but he's got a tall task in order to get that lead back.
That 22 car pulling away ever so slightly through the chicane down this straightaway. Look at the braking performance of the 22. That road course experience and knowledge, that's where it pays off. A half a car length here in the braking zone, a half a car length there in the braking zone, and you slowly drive away. Haley has the pace in these switchbacks. He has the pace in the other corners, but the braking zones, the 22 is beating him.
Austin Cindric won stage 1 here last year, trying to do the same thing. 6 laps to go in this stage.
We got a car spun around here, Jeff, out of turn 7. The 24 car took it in there a little bit too far. Will Rogers, a very established and talented road racer, just asking a little bit too much of that car, getting down to the braking zone, locked it up, spun it around.
Well, Rogers spins it around. He gets going the right direction. We stay green, and the end of stage 1 coming up quickly as there are just 6 laps to go, and Ryan Sieg has a left rear tire that's down.
And the problem is he's on the front stretch, so he's missed the entrance to pit road. You see sheet metal all over the racetrack. I believe this is going to have to bring out the yellow. That debris right there is in the racing surface.
Yeah, right in the groove.
Yeah, I'm looking right at it. It's a big piece of aluminum right in that groove. They're going to have to throw the caution. Here it comes.
There it is. The caution has come out. So the second caution comes out now at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Interesting. Right before the end of the stage.
And Steve, you mentioned that you can do it on one stop. Would you consider coming now that this caution has come out? I know when you road course race, you don't normally like to come to pit road under green or under yellow.
Yeah, let's take another look right here. Seeing the 39, you see the flat tire just throwing debris out from underneath it. I mean, at this point, if you're the leader, I don't believe you want to make an extra pit stop. But you have to ask yourself, what's happening to A.J. Allmendinger back in 6th? We expected him to be higher. Maybe Myatt Snyder back in 9th. Maybe Chase Elliott in 13th. Does he, you know, he's a relief driver. He didn't get to practice that one car. Does he want to come in and get some adjustments made? So we may see some teams come to pit road, but I don't believe the leaders will.
Pace cars pick the leaders up over here in turn 7 and 8. We'll be heading toward you, Jeff, and these guys are going to have to make that decision really soon.
Well, I'm sure I'll be wrong, and they'll all come to pit road. But I would probably stay on the racetrack if I'm Cindric.
Cindric, Haley, Ty Gibbs, Riley Herbst, Justin Allgaier. They're the top 5.
I tell you what, Rick, it's hard to believe it's August in Indianapolis. I was down on pit road before the race. Such comfortable weather. A great week. Oh, now the whole carcass has come off the 39's tire. Just beautiful weather to watch racing. Fans galore down there. It's awesome.
And not what Ryan Sieg was hoping for the day at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course.
Yeah, we just came in just below that cut line. Needed a great day to make up points. This is not what they needed. So now let's see. There'll be a right-hand turn if anybody comes. Leaders skip past pit road. We'll see if anybody dives in. Oh,
pits are closed.
Pit roads are closed, we're hearing. Well, they're definitely not going to pit then.
So with that, they'll have to go all the way around again. Ryan Sieg obviously will come onto pit road. He'll take whatever penalty they will assess to him so he can get to the attention of his crew. Again, the end of stage 1 at lap 20, and it's Austin Cindric out front. NASCAR on NBCSN is brought to you by Credit One Bank, the official credit card of NASCAR. Visit gocreditone.com. And by Ford, built Ford proud. Austin Cindric has decided he didn't want that water bottle any longer, and we'll go to Parker.
See most of the field coming down pit road here in that car behind the 11 of Justin Haley, just struggling with rear lateral grip to be able to beat Austin Cindric there as you saw him lose the lead. It's going to be 4 Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel, and an air pressure adjustment to hook up the rears, Dave.
So Austin Cindric will come in and pit as well. The call in code was Dungy. I remember a famous football coach from around here that might do a Football Night in America show for NBC by that name. So we'll see what they do there. I believe it's going to be 4 tires and Sunoco fuel for the leader. Meanwhile, Ty Gibbs said his car is just too loose, that 54 car on the bottom. They'll get some tires and fuel as well. Looks like they'll go left sides, then right sides for Ty Gibbs.
A lot of guys on pit road, Steve.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought more would stay out. We saw Riley Herbst stay out probably for the stage points. Very narrow pit road. Regardless of the direction you're going, we'll have to see if everybody gets on and off safely. But shocked at the number of cars that came to pit road. But now they definitely have to stop again with 45 laps to go. They can't make it on fuel. That just tells me, though, how much the tires are, you know, deteriorating. That's how much that's going away. And we have this yellow because the 39 had a flat tire. Well, the issues continue as you see this 39 come around. He spun out a couple times. This time right here, I think the left rear to me is already flat, right? We didn't see that the first time. When you see right here, though, it just comes apart. And as he continues, I thought this was the tire carcass, but the wheel and everything is actually in that. I have not seen that. And then after the wheel comes, there comes wheel spacers. I mean, it is on the brake caliper, dragging on the rotor, track bar mount. The 39 has some major issues.
Unfortunate, and you had mentioned we saw the sign that they were done for the day. Right.
Rick, I was just playing the automotive version of Racers They're Just Like Me because I bought those same wheel spacers on Amazon before. We're over here on the hill on the golf course having some fun. Take a look over here. All these people who weren't here last year are enjoying this doubleheader weekend. It's amazing because we're right here by turn 7. We saw the Indy cars earlier, incredible braking, and for us, it really starts just after the bridge, so it's a little bit slower here for this, but man, I tell you what, it's still a great party over here. A little different with the road course, but these fans are loving it, guys.
Yeah, party there. There's going to be a party once again on Peacock with Motormouths coming back Monday and Wednesday. Always a lot of fun. That's where fans get to voice their opinions on what's going on. They love to do that.
Yeah, I love being on the show. Fans get to call in, let us know what they thought about the race. We have a lot of guests. The fan actually get to ask the guests questions. We've had Kyle Busch on. We've had Ryan Blaney, Alex Bowman earlier in the year. So we'll have drivers join us, and the fans can call in and fire their questions. I love it because they can ask their drivers directly. I just stay out of it. They're like, yeah, ask Kyle what you think.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kyle, answer the man's question.
Yeah, again, that's Monday, Wednesday, 6 p.m. on Peacock. So make sure to join us for that. Always great to be able to chat with the fans.
So interesting mix-up at the field. We mentioned some cars did stay out. So you see the 22 of Cindric 4 rows back. The 31 of Sage Karam. This is a tough position, making your Xfinity Series debut, learning a new car. Now you will be on the front row for a restart. The 98 of Riley Herbst will start to his right. An important little sprint for Riley Herbst. He's looking for some points, trying to make it into the playoffs with Michael Annett on the sidelines.
It will be a quick sprint, just 2 to go. Austin Dillon in that 23 team, they had a crew member over the wall too soon, so they have a penalty from pit road. Let's see how Sage Karam does. Riley Herbst, Sage Karam making up row 1. Back under green, as I mentioned, 2 to go to end stage 1. Can the fresher tires do anything in these 2 laps? We're about to find out. They stay door to door. Riley Herbst surging ahead now. He has the number 1 spot. Congestion through 1 as they all try to sort it out.
They slide through turn 1 and 2. A.J. Allmendinger making a bonsai run on that restart. He's trying to gain some ground. So is Justin Haley. Here they are through the right-hander, turn number 4. Still congestion trying to leave that corner. But Riley Herbst has been able to drive away with the lead with Sage Karam right behind him.
And the amount of spots that Justin Haley made up getting into turn 1, that was impressive. These guys are barreling down into turn 7 here. Herbst still with the lead. Haley pressuring his teammate in the 10. Going to cut him a little bit of a break right there. He's got a lot better tires on his car. The rest of the field works its way through turns 8, 9, and 10. Looks like even with just a few laps to go and the intensity up, they make it through pretty clean.
Yeah, pretty clean. Riley Herbst out front, staying out to get those points. We talked about the point battle that he's in. To get this stage win, that'll help him in his cause to get into the playoffs. You mentioned Justin Haley. He restarted 10th. When he exited turn 1, he was in 4th. He outbroke everybody getting into turn 1. It was so much fun. It's awesome to watch. He is going to go try to win this stage. He's got better tires. Going to go to try and run them down. He can do it. 1 to go, but I think he can get there.
Let's listen into the radio of the 11.
I don't know what it looked like down there. It was fun to watch on TV. I was looking at the big screen with the overhead view, and it was like throttle stuck.
Talking about that move Dale Jr. mentioned, he passed 4 of 5 heading into turn 1. Now he goes by Sage Karam. Doing a nice job, though, in that 31, making his Xfinity Series debut. Here's a replay from the bumper cam. Watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Worked on a 6-pack in turn 1. That is impressive. And that right there could be the reason he has a chance to win this stage, is he's able to run down Riley Herbst.
Yeah, he's coming down this straightaway, trying to close the gap a little bit. It's about 6 car lengths in the braking zone. He gains maybe a couple back. Herbst makes a big mistake on the brakes there. That allows the 11 of Haley to get within 2 or 3 car lengths through turns 8 and 9 and 10. Jeff, coming to you. It's now a battle for the lead.
Yeah, we got a great battle. You watch the 11 car of Haley. You're going to try to really drive through this corner with tons of speed and then carry speed into turn 12. Right here, a great opportunity to make up some space. Going to the inside. Can he make it work? Easily clears. Great job, great aggressive driving. He's going to get this stage win after pitting. I didn't think he'd have a shot, but that great restart put him in position.
Alex Jans, the crew chief for the 11, making a great call, bringing him to pit road. Now Haley taking advantage of the fresh tires. He's back out front, and he's going to win his 4th stage of the 2021 season. Haley wins stage 1.
And a tip of the hat to Sage Karam in 5th. making his Xfinity Series debut, the 26-year-old out of Nazareth, Pennsylvania, knows Indy cars, doesn't know NASCAR. That's pretty chaotic for a guy not used to stock car racing. Did a nice job not making a mistake. Little NASCAR donut on the left side. I like that.
Yeah, it still worked out for Riley Herbst. He was looking for points. He got them. He'll get 9 points for finishing second in stage 1. But it was Justin Haley who makes the pass and gets the win in stage 1. Few drivers coming onto pit road, one of those being the 98 of Riley Herbst. He's coming in front of you, Parker.
Right, and also at the top of your screen, Sage Karam, who was getting coached by the team. This is his first ever pit stop in NASCAR, how to get in the box, how to drive out of the box, of course. In the middle of your screen there is Jen Burton, who got a great stage finish there and some stage points. That's before Goodyear tires and Sunoco fuel, and add a little bit of rear grip in that 10 car. And then Riley Herbst, we saw him trying to hold on for that stage win, getting passed in the final couple corners by Justin Haley, just lacking a bit of turn in that 98 car as you see Ford Goodyear tires put on for him.
I love that pit call by the 98, though, staying out and getting those stage points. You know, when we look at the playoffs, you have to gobble up points when you can. Big call by the 98.
Only 5 more races remain before the playoffs begin. Herbst trying to lock himself in.
Al Unser Sr. roars to the checkered flag.
It's all over. AJ has done it. The checkered flag for Rick Mears. He's won the Indianapolis 500.
Winner of the inaugural Brickyard 400. Dale Earnhardt has won the second Brickyard 400.
A native Hoosier, his dream comes true.
A 4th win in the Brickyard 400 to Jimmy Johnson.
Kevin Harvick is going to see the checkered flag. He wins again at the Brickyard.
Welcome to the 4-time club, Elio Castro-Neves.
So many great names, and this place has made many of those great names. And that yard of bricks, it's the same. They're just going a different direction when they come tomorrow. And a very busy day on CNBC, qualifying for the Cup Series. A new tradition starting. The Cup Series will be running the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course. Countdown to green. That is on NBC. Make sure to join us at 12:30 and then at 1 o'clock. Cup Series racing. Again, that new tradition beginning right here at the Yard of Bricks. And, of course, NASCAR America post-race coverage on NBCSN after the race. So much excitement has taken place already this weekend. Earlier today, it was the NTT IndyCar Series.
It has been a long time.
And what a run once again for Will Power. I mean, this guy is amazing at the road course here.
Yeah, Lee Diffie was on the call, and he mentioned it. It had been a long time coming, about a year since the last time we saw Will Power go to victory lane, and he's so good on this course.
As far as laps led, second place as far as in the IndyCar Series, laps led are like 5 times less than what Will Power has been able to do here, leading laps in the IndyCar. It's his 5th win here on the road course. And Steve, we talk about such a special weekend when you compare the fact that IndyCar, Xfinity, Cup, all running same weekend, same road course.
Completely 2 different disciplines. You see the difference in overall budget to run a season top speed about 20 miles an hour because they're about half the weight, twice the downforce. You know, you can attack those cars. They now have that aero screen versus a closed cockpit for the Xfinity Series. I've really enjoyed seeing the 2 series. We have seen them both on the same track, but never on the same weekend. And that's really helped me. I rode around during the IndyCar race to some different areas and watched the cars make laps, and it was just mind-blowing just how much grip those cars could create with the downforce.
Yeah, so much excitement, so much fun to see that, and the drivers crossing over and watching each other's discipline. You can go inside the headset with access to NASCAR Scanner for only $2.99 per month. You can listen in on pit strategy, spotter communication, crew chief calls. Just visit NASCAR.com/scanner, and you can start your subscription today. Austin Cindric in that 22, Justin Haley in the 11. As we come back to the green flag, starting stage 2. A couple guys checking the inside line, making it 3 wide as they go into turn 1. And one of those is going to be Noah Gragson for the lead. He makes it 3 wide. Austin Cindric on the outside. He's going to have the lead. And Cindric will hold off that 9 of Gragson.
Gregson will slide through. He'll grab that second spot. Here's Jeremy Clements up in the mix in the 51 as Haley bailed out. He was in the middle of that 3 wide coming through turn 1. It'll cost him some spots, and it's going to cost him another. Whoa, look out. One car spinning further back and off the course as everybody will slide by everybody. Trying to check up. Another car in trouble. That's Chris Wright. He'll go off course as well, as a couple of drivers come to grief here through turn number 5, working their way onto the back straightaway.
There's some damage to the one car. Chase Elliott's around. He spins 360, gets it right and gets it going. But coming to you, Jeff Burton, it looks like there's some damage to the 18 car. Little tire smoke off the nose.
Yeah, we saw Ty Gibbs right there. That was the guy that spun. The initial spinner was Ty Gibbs. This battle wages down here in this corner. Haley trying to get those spots back. Haley, although he gave some spots up, made the right decision. When Noah Gregson poked underneath him getting into turn 1, Haley could have just fought, but they all would have wrecked. Haley just didn't want to make that decision, but made the right one, and he continues on to take the battle later in the race.
I was thinking the same thing, and it just confirmed it when we saw the 54 backwards, the 1 backwards. Now we see some smoke. I believe that's Jeremy Clements in the 51 smoke as well. Out of the 18 of Daniel Hemrick's damage on the left front.
There's Daniel Hemrick in the 18 coming into turn number 1. He did have smoke on that left front. Corners got close there the last time through turn 5. Everybody's cooled their jets right now, but Hemrick's got to be concerned about that tire rub. Perhaps maybe the fender caved in. And he's also got A.J. Allmendinger breathing down his neck. Not a lot going on right now for Daniel Hemrick through 5 and 6.
And down this back straightaway, Daniel Hemrick tries to assess the situation. There's a car in front of him that has a little bit of tire smoke as well. It's like the 51 car, I believe. All these guys having a lot of contact here on these restarts, and we're going to see some tire rubs. Daniel's hoping that this will sort itself out, won't bring it to pit road or cut the tire down. He doesn't want to give up that track position.
Yeah, we just saw Ty Gibbs coming down pit road. Dave, you got some on Ty?
I'm going to watch what they do down there as we keep our eye on the action as well. Daniel Hemrick thinking that he may come to pit road. His crew is ready, but he did not. As for Ty Gibbs, they definitely want to get that left side roof flap back down on the 54 car, and Ty felt like there might have been a tire down. Definitely damaged the tires, so they're going to change all 4 Goodyears on the 54 car and fill it full of Sunoco fuel. We'll see if they can strategize their way back. They will not lose a lap here, guys.
See service complete. I believe he is going to lose the lap because here comes the leaders right here down into turn 1. Yeah, the 54 will lose a lap to the leaders. That is a costly situation. Hopefully there'll be some more green flag pit stops that will allow Ty to cycle back out as we see A.J. Allmendinger continue to move up through the field, as well as the 18 of Daniel Hemrick.
That's a heck of a battle right now, Stevie, as you look at Sam Mayer also starting to make some noise there. You got Myatt Snyder in the 2. They're trying to regain some lost ground as well. Daniel Hemrick, that smoke seemingly to have gone away. Perhaps maybe that left front fender got pushed back out off that tire. Not seeing as much smoke as we saw a couple laps ago.
Yeah, that's kind of something that's good about these composite bodies, that you will get those tire rubs, and sometimes they do work themselves out.
I think it's starting to go down.
Yeah, Daniel's losing a lot of time here, a lot of positions. Radio's in, and he believes that the tire itself may be going down. They're calling to pit road, Burton.
Yeah, every Gibbs car has had trouble today of some sort. Daniel Hemrick got a decision to make. Right now he's got a car on the inside of him, so he won't be able to get to pit road. There you go. He's got to just stop, fall in behind Will Rogers, and then drive to pit road. Now carry as much speed as you can through here. That becomes more difficult if you have a tire going down, Steve.
Yeah, be very careful right here. That wall is in play. No pit road speed until all the way around to the yellow line. And unfortunately, well, with 36 to go, we expect this to be maybe just inside the fuel window, knowing you're going to get some yellows as we see the 54 of Ty Gibbs passing the 9, trying to find his way back onto the lead lap, trying to unlap himself the old-fashioned way if he can run down Austin Cindric, Dave.
And Steve, one of the things that impressed me about Daniel Hemrick on that restart was the way that he used the braking area into turn number 1. He had complained early on that he couldn't stop the 18 car, but that move that he was making was fantastic. The problem, he hit the 54 car, and he believes that may have cut down that left front tire. He'll bring this Toyota in, and they'll send him back out.
Leaders down into turn 7. Looks like Justin Haley, he's lost a couple of spots. Guys are a little bit more aggressive, taking advantage of him on the restarts, but he's got a little more pace in this 9 car. Miller Gregson, he's trying to recover that spot, get himself back into second position.
Yeah, remember early in the race, Haley had trouble on a longer run, so maybe trying to save a little tire. Let's go back and see what happened. You see Ty Gibbs, you see the 18 on the outside of him. They just make contact, sends Ty Gibbs out into the grass. That's where he got his damage, and then behind him, look at that, another car hitting one of those huge curbs. Those are, we need to come up with a new name with those things. They're car killers. I mean, they absolutely destroy the car.
I think it's going to be called a ramp from now on, because we have seen cars airborne. That was Chris Wright in the 26 that just flew through the air.
And Chase Elliott, yeah. Was that Sam Mayer?
Yeah, it looked like Sam Mayer got into the left rear quarter panel, getting down into turn 7. Teammates going for the same piece of real estate right there.
You said teammates very reluctantly.
Got my broadcaster hat on there, Jim. The rest of the field, here they are coming through turns 5 and 6. Such an interesting corner, that little kink there. Guys, get through there wide open. If you have to lift, you're going to have trouble fending off a pass in this particular area of the track. There's A.J. Allmendinger working his way back up to the field, getting around Justin Allgaier. They go through the switchbacks of 8, 9, and 10. A.J. seems to have improved the balance of his car somewhat.
I was worried about A.J. Allmendinger. We saw him lose track position early when he missed the track, but then after that, he wasn't able to make up any ground, but now seems to have a little bit better car. Trying to run his teammate, Justin Haley, down. He and Haley work really well together. Right now, that's a position to go get.
We're going to see A.J. Allmendinger again tomorrow. He's double-duty driver as well. Haley in front of him will be in the Cup race, so a couple guys that will be in the Cup race. On the bottom left, you see it, that final pit window. We are now in a spot where if anybody pits under green because they have to come for any sort of situation or even a strategy call, they can then make it all the way to the end on fuel. Parker?
Right, and Jeff, you noticed that A.J. Allmendinger is a lot better here on this run. In those first few runs, he was really lacking drive off speed. He just couldn't put the throttle down. The rear tires had to spin out of each and every corner. They made some adjustments, and the cars started to definitely come to him in that 16s. We start to see him carve through the field here and show some of that speed that we saw in qualifying. He told me before this race he was so happy with that car in practice. He did 6 laps. Every lap was in almost hundreds of each other. He said this thing's going to be money in the race, but it didn't start off that way. They had to do some work, because we see the 61 is stopped on track.
So that's a local yellow, Austin Hill in the 61. Now you're seeing the yellow come out. We saw the blue flag earlier, but now it's a full course yellow because Austin Hill in that 61 not rolling. The 27-year-old out of Winston, Georgia, making just his 3rd start in the Xfinity Series here in 2021.
We had just mentioned that the pit window was available to pit.
If the caution comes out here, guys, with the field just past turn 7, well, that happens to be where the pace car picks the field up. So these guys are going to pace around and complete a lap without the pace car. The pace car is sitting right here underneath me, waiting on Cindric to come back around.
It's a great break for couple drivers. Unfortunately for Ty Gibbs, I believe he was still a lap down. I'm looking, so he'll get the free pass. But Daniel Hemrick was able to stay on the lead lap, so he might be able to stay out here. He has brand new tires on and save gas because he's outside his pit window, but this yellow might save him a little bit of fuel.
Austin Cindric out front looking to get back to victory lane. Maybe make it a sweep, Saturday sweep for Penske. I love that sound. The NFL season kicks off Thursday, September 9th on NBC and Peacock with the Cowboys facing defending Super Bowl champion Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Then on Sunday Night Football, the Bears are going to face the Rams from SoFi Stadium. That's in Los Angeles. That is where this year's Super Bowl will be held. That is going to be on NBC. Looking forward to that. A few takers on to pit road, Riley Herbst being one. Parker.
Did you see Riley Herbst come down pit road? A lot of damage, especially that right rear area. The whole bumper covers tore off. That all happened on the restart there. Got banged around a little bit, a couple cars. Riley is asking the team continually through that whole stage what was the situation with the car. They told him just to keep going on as long as it stayed together. You see them trying to put some bear bond around on the left front and on that right rear, just trying to lock those body panels in place.
I'm a little surprised. Thought we might have some more takers. People try to stretch their fuel mileage, but apparently those Goodyear tires are valuable, Rick. People don't want to be out there on old tires late in the race.
And look at this. Oh, my goodness. That's almost like ski jumping. That's Winter Olympics preview right there. Wow.
Is struggling to manage your type 2 diabetes knocking you out of your zone? Lowering your A1C with once-weekly Ozempic can help you get back in it.
My zone, lowering my A1C, CV risk, and losing some weight. Now, back to the game.
Ozempic is proven to lower A1C. Most people who took Ozempic reached an A1C under 7 and maintained it. And you may lose weight. Adults lost on average up to 12 pounds. In adults also with known heart disease, Ozempic lowers the risk of major cardiovascular events such as heart attack, stroke, or death.
Ozempic helped me get back in my type 2 diabetes zone.
Ozempic isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. Don't share needles or pens or reuse needles. Don't take Ozempic if you or your family ever had medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2 or if allergic to it. Stop Ozempic and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or an allergic reaction. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Tell your provider about vision problems or changes. Taking Ozempic with a sulfonylurea or insulin may increase low blood sugar risk. Side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
Looking to get back in your type 2 diabetes zone? Ask your healthcare provider today about once-weekly Ozempic.
You may pay as little as $25 for a 3-month prescription.
The fact that this Reese's ad showed up at this exact moment proves that your devices are listening to your stomach.
Blue Emu Super Strength Original Formula is now available in 3 convenient sizes. Whether you need relief at home, in your gym bag, or on the go. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink. An official partner of MLB and NASCAR.
A new tradition begins tomorrow for the NASCAR Cup Series from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. They take on the road course. If it's anything like what we have seen already today with IndyCar and the Xfinity Series, we're probably going to see some cars airborne because it really started in the NTT IndyCar Series with Scott McLaughlin. Look at that.
I don't know what to say. Well, he landed pretty square. So then Chris Wright said, well, I'm going to abort, go driver's right. That is amazing.
Oh, my goodness.
Watch this on the left side, top of your screen. Check this out.
Wow.
I mean, that's some Hollywood stuff right there.
Now, the question is who did it better? And who will join them tomorrow? The Cup race. Who might go through there?
Junior, I don't think anybody wants to challenge that.
That's what you call straightening the curve.
The Turn 11 judge believes the IndyCar did it better. He landed more squarely, and I think the technical side should be appreciated.
Man. So you'd score that, would that be a high 9?
Solid 8.
Okay, 8. Wow. So we have seen airborne cars today, not only at that turn there, but we also saw them when they were exiting that turn on the first lap. A little bit of congestion as they came out of that lap and hit the turtle or curb that is just on the concrete on the outside of this track.
Can we call them jumps now?
I mean, I think they're now jumps.
More accurate.
Yeah, right there, that orange jump.
Yeah, ramps.
Airborne. We have already seen some great action. Let's check in with the guys once again. We'll start with you, Bagman, over there in turns 1 through 5.
I'm impressed. I never knew that cars could get so much air here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway on the road course. It's been quite impressive. It's been impressive to watch everybody mind their P's and Q's getting into turn 1 under heavy braking. We haven't seen a lot of pushing and shoving going into that corner, but we have seen drivers take advantage of things through turns 2 through 6 and navigating all that unpleasantness that we've seen for some drivers. Dale, what about you in turn 7?
Yeah, it's been pretty awesome over here. Watching the guys come into this braking zone of turn 7 is really probably the most impressive thing. These guys are really challenging the cars, challenging their braking performance. Seeing some guys miss this corner, end up in the grass. But if they go through there and they get through that part and they go into 8, 9, and 10, watching them try to set each other up, try to arc a higher line into the corner to try to give themselves a passing opportunity or crossover move on exit is a lot of fun. We're going to see more of that as this race goes on. Yeah, Junior, it's been aggressive, but I think it's getting ready to get more aggressive. I just believe that you know, you're going to get into the second stage is coming, into the race is getting closer. You're going to see drivers trying to step up and try to make more moves. And we know what happens when that goes on. So expect the aggression level to even get higher.
We love the fact that Junior hasn't missed a step. He's still got his quickness.
I tell you, great reaction time. Great reaction time right here.
Oh!
You're coming on air.
Mic button.
Yeah, I did that last week. Y'all didn't say a thing. Getting on air requires much more skill than people realize.
I'm telling you.
Mashing buttons.
Beautiful thing. And you see, it will be 8 laps to go until the end of stage 2. Austin Cindric, Noah Gragson will be fighting it out now as they come back to the start-finish line. Across the yard of bricks, Austin Cindric in the 22 on the inside. Gragson on the outside trying to outbrake him as he gets into turn number 1. Here comes Justin Haley as well, and A.J. Allmendinger in the mix.
A.J. Allmendinger now going to challenge Austin Cindric for second as Noah Gragson in the 9 will get away with the lead. Everybody now in the right-hander, turn number 3. Gragson starting to tiptoe away a bit, but A.J. Allmendinger giving Austin Cindric the business to the right-hander, turn 4. It's Dinger and Cindric side by side for second. Not any long. Here comes A.J. Allmendinger.
Yeah, the 9 of Gragson did not get through turn 4 good at all. And A.J.'s got an opportunity here in the braking zone of turn 7. He's going to push it down here, be right up alongside the 9 car. Oh, a little contact amongst all the top 3 there. AJ's going to be clear into the lead. Gragson now trying to fend off the 11 car of Haley, who's moved into 3rd. Cindric back to 4th. Yeah, Cindric all the way back to 4th. A huge surprise. I think it surprised him. Noah Gragson was able to outbrake him into turn 1. And now, look at Noah. Look at the battle right there. Sam Mayer. He started mid-pack. He has worked himself up, now battling with one of the best road racers for a top 5 position.
He got a little sideways, and that allowed Austin Cindric to clear him for now. Here comes Myatt Snyder back into the picture, as well as Justin Allgaier. But Sam Mayer starting to put pressure on Austin Cindric. Those two nose to tail now as they go down the front stretch, side by side. Allgaier on the inside. And it's Myatt Snyder on the outside. Hard braking as they get into turn number 1.
Here's Allgaier down to the inside of Myatt Snyder. Look out further back. Austin Dillon is around. He'll spin the car. Coming in a little too hot. Everybody's got to get by, and they will. Now Austin rights the car, and that was the case of coming in way too hot and trying to get in that corner. And obviously Austin asked a bit much out of that race car all the way to the back of the pack for Austin Dillon.
Yeah, we're going to look at it right here. Getting down in the corner, Austin gets a little bit. I'd have got a little bit of help there. I couldn't really tell. They just get in the corner a little bit too hard. Field down here next to me now through turn 7, turn 8, 9, and 10. Everybody getting through pretty well, but Haley is hanging on to his teammate, A.J. Allmendinger. This top 4 is a top 4 from the race last year, so guys that were successful last year found themselves back to the front. How about Allmendinger? They've just worked on that car, made it better. Early, it just did not look like he had the speed. Now leading this race. And Cindric, I just don't think he's happy with his car back there in that 22 car. Haley, a little quicker than Allmendinger to that section of the racetrack.
You look at College Racing on the left side on the road courses. They've won 3 of the last 10.
including down at Mid-Ohio. And I think Allmendinger deserves a lot of that credit. While I think Haley is a great road course driver, having someone like Allmendinger driving your equipment, Rick, as a crew chief, you know you can make changes, great feedback, and that's what you're seeing. Leading, but not leading by much, his teammate Bagley right on his rear bumper.
Yeah, that's a good battle for the lead right now. A.J. Allmendinger brought us to green, led us to the green flag, didn't stay there long, had a horrible first lap. They had to regroup and reassess. They've done that, and now they've found their way back to the front. Two Colleague Racing Chevrolets, 1 and 2, starting to pull away now by almost a second and a half over Noah Gregson, who rides in third.
And you see AJ get really aggressive through the kink there in 5 and 6 and stretch out his lead. That right there to me is really impressive to be able to get through there. Most of these guys are going to go wide open, but if you don't hit that just right and have to lift, it's such a long straightaway to turn 7 that you can give up a lot of time. Haley gains all of it back, though, through the switchbacks of 8, 9, and 10. His car is turning better, changing in better direction.
Let's go back and look at that Austin Dillon incident on the front straightaway into turn 1. Just carrying too much speed, a little bit too high. And then behind him also, you know, one guy goes in there too deep, somebody else just follows him in there.
Yeah, Jeremy Clement followed him in the 51. He was able to keep it going the right direction. We'll go NASCAR nonstop. Allmendinger out front.
No pressure from behind. 5 seconds.
Jimmy Johnson trying to win his first championship. Jimmy Johnson.
One more lap to go. Jimmy Johnson wins his 7th NASCAR championship.
It's never been about racing anyone else.
If it looks like an F-150, tows like an F-150, hauls like an F-150, thinks like an F-150, and powers like an F-150, it must be an F-150 hybrid. The 2021 F-150 Power Boost Hybrid with 570 pound-feet of torque and 12,700 pounds of max available towing.
Every customer has their own Safelite story. This couple loves camping adventures, and their SUV is always there with them. So when their windshield got a chip, they wanted it fixed fast. They drove to Safelite Auto Glass for a guaranteed same-day in-shop repair. We repaired the chip before it could crack, and with their insurance, it was no cost to them.
Really?
That's service you can trust when you need it most.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Yeah, I just saved a whole lot of money by switching to Geico.
Huh. We should take a closer look at Geico.
You know, Geico insures way more than cars, boats, motorcycles, even RVs.
Geico insures RVs? What's an RV?
The thing we've been stuck on for 5 years.
Wait, I'm not a real moose?
We've been over this, Jeff.
We're stickers.
I'm not a real moose.
Give him some space.
Deep breaths, Jeff.
What's a sticker?
Take a closer look at Geico. Great savings and a whole lot more.
I am a playground where kids of all ages are welcome, where everyone can come together and simply enjoy the passion, the spectacle, the speed, and the sound.
This could be for the win right here.
I'm where we're all reminded why we fell in love with this sport to begin with, and why it's like nothing else in the world. Experience a NASCAR race this summer. Get your tickets at NASCAR.com/tickets.
The road course is oval. It doesn't matter. It's Indy.
Green, green, green.
All the big-time names of NASCAR have won there over the years.
It's such an iconic racetrack. Get to race there is really special.
Are you ready to win $25,000? The free-to-play Jackpot Races app, it's here to make that happen. With expert analysis, live in-race tracking of your picks, your racing experience could hit the jackpot. Go to your Apple Store or Google Play and download the Jackpot Races app today, as we see Austin Cindric has made his way onto pit road. So now coming from running up front to on pit road, making that final stop. Parker.
You see Austin Cindric on pit road. Also the aid of Sam Mayer, who started this race at the back, drove all the way through the field into the top 15 and having a great run just outside the top 5 here just struggling a little bit with rear grip on the cars. I'm hearing a consistent theme throughout the field of rear grip, Dave.
So, Parker, it was interesting watching Austin Cindric lose the lead on that last restart after saying under caution how good the car was. In fact, the best it had been all day. So they'll come before stage end here, get their 4 Goodyear tires and their full fuel fill from Sunoco and send him on his way. Perhaps an air pressure adjustment to tweak on that car just a little bit, because I don't think he really liked it the way he did under caution.
Very slow pit stop on the 8. A lot of trouble on the left side. You see the 22 of Cindric leaving. I mean, assuming this next time by, I'm not sure about Allmendinger with the lead, but I think we have another wave of pit stops. Let's take a look what Allmendinger does. You know, what's a stage win worth? Losing the opportunity to win the race. I think if you're going to try to win the race, you have to pit before the end of the stage, or you'll cycle behind all these guys. So we'll watch the 2 call cars this time by. Let's see what they decide to do. Allmendinger stays on the track. Haley stays on the track. A bit surprising there. The 7 of Allgaier. Oh, and the caution comes out.
And the problem there, Allgaier is not going to be able to do his service. He didn't get to the commitment line. It didn't look like he got there in time. That'll be a question of Will Rogers climbing out of the 24. That's the reason for the caution.
Rick, this caution just changed the entire race. The entire race just got flipped upside down because of this caution. We see right here the 24 fire coming out of the right front wheel well.
And he had just exited pit road. You see him climbing back in to grab something from inside the car. And AMR safety crew immediately to him.
Man, this is just a huge moment in this race as far as
head scratcher for you.
Oh, it's not a head scratcher. We see Justin Allgaier in the 7 servicing his car. You mentioned we'll have to see where he was for the commitment line. Remember, it's not the speed line.
Right.
It's the commitment line. If he has passed over the commitment line, the white line, then he is committed to pit road and he's able to service his car. We'll have to go back and look at this. And guess what? We won't have to, because NASCAR is going to go back and look at it, and they're going to let us know. If so, great break for the 7 of Allgaier. But the cars that hadn't stopped for service yet, they're going to lose some track position here.
And his spotter, obviously, and probably crew chief were watching to see, and they would tell him, hey, you need to either stop or you can keep going.
And it's almost like calling a player out or safe at first base. It's bang, bang, right? Pit, caution. You know, you can't, 2 guys on the radio, it turns into chaos. So
Burton, you commit to pit or not? Not the speed line.
There you go. My man Jason Burdett going through the rules. He goes, it's not the speed line. It's the commitment line. It's the white commitment line. That says, so it's up there at the top of the screen. That is the line you cross right here. I'm going to draw. This right here is the commitment line, not the speed line, which is farther down in this direction, right? If you get over that line while the track is still green, then you are committed to pit road. This is the speed line, the yellow line. The reason the commitment line matters is because where's he going to go? Like once you're on the access road. So we'll see what NASCAR says, but
yeah, Steve, it happened right in front of me, and I saw him pitting. I saw him pitting because, you know, that was their plan all along, was the pit, and then caution, right? Then I saw the caution light come on. It's really going to be close, so whether he made it or not. But it's so close. As they're saying now, he was on too early. But it would have been a really difficult call for the spotter to call him back. Now, they could have had him not pit, but I still don't know how you would have known it without a replay. It was just a really close call whether he made it or not.
Well, that's unfortunate for Justin Allgaier. A difficult situation for Allgaier being called to pit road, and then the caution happening almost simultaneously as he was coming to that commitment line.
All right, so we got a pretty good look at this right here. This is going to be crazy. Now, okay, hold on real quick. Before we do anything, you're going to see over here, it's hard to see, there's a pit light. He has yet to get to the thing. Let's roll it forward just 2 or 3 frames, and you're going to see this light illuminate on the left side. So as he rolls forward, and this is very, very close, right? So as it rolls forward, a little more, right there. Look, right there. He is short by, I don't know, a couple feet. And that light on the left-hand side is signifying pit road's close. To Jeff Burton's point, I don't like
They said we did not make the light.
Why you don't get penalized, gamble. Stop, because he was 2 feet away. 2 feet away from a great pit call. You have to take the gamble. I love where Jason Burdett's mind was. He knew the rule. Allgaier knew the rule. Everybody knew the rule. Unfortunately, you're right. Jason's saying it's the commitment line back there. It's not the speed line. But it was just a couple feet. Great work down in replay to find that camera shot that shows both the light and the commitment line.
Yeah, Steve, I'm essentially have the same view as the spotters have. And there's just...
That's not right.
There's just no way a spotter could have said you didn't make it. There's no way. We had to do it in super slow-mo with guys in replay. So, you know, sometimes you're just unlucky, and that was a matter of milliseconds.
Until they throw me out of here.
Well, if we tell Mr. Burdett there to look at the camera, we can put it back up for him. But we have the video evidence. It's unfortunate. I see his argument. I understand what he's saying because he knows how important this call is. This is the difference between having great track position or having awful track position. But look, NASCAR has all the same camera angles. They even have more camera angles that they officiate with.
And, Steve, the other thing, the driver is already starting to look left. So that light is almost directly in front of the car when he comes on there. So he would already be looking to left. He wouldn't be able to see it.
Listen, it's like trying to go through a red light at 65 miles an hour and tell me, was it red or yellow? And you don't know. Once it's above your head, I mean, it happens so quick. You know, it's just a simple situation. So on the left, right here is the light. You know, so it's the driver's coming through here. He's not at pit road speed yet. He's trying to stay out of the grass. He's got a lot going on. It's like I said, it's just two things. Bang, bang, happens right away. I love the, how do I say this? I love the sales pitch from the spot. I'd be the same way. Like, man, I think we were there.
Like, hey, fight it, fight it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you're going to be able to win this one.
So now on the other side, though, as we ride around for the final lap of the stage with the two call-it cars, their decision to stay on the racetrack, while it will score them some points, they're not going to restart inside the top 10 or 12. So they still have a chance to win this race. 23 laps to go. A lot can happen. We saw Justin Haley make a great move into turn one before. Chris Rice right there, team president, on the screen. You know, this is going to make their chances of winning more difficult. Doesn't remove them from the win, but, man, more difficult. So remember, Cindric, he's already serviced his car. He's going to restart way up front.
Well, I think one thing that those teams can look at is what happened to Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs spun. He's already back up inside the top 4. You can do it. Getting ready for the final stage of the Pennzoil 150 at the Brickyard for the NASCAR Xfinity Series as the final pit stops taking place here, and they're coming right in front of you, Parker.
Right, and both call-it cars stayed out to get those stage points. You see the 11 there, lacking some left rear drive for Justin Haley. Going to be 4 Goodyear tires. The middle of your screen, A.J. Allmendinger stayed out to win that stage. He's just been too free when the car rolls over, and then he was asking the team, where is Justin faster than me? As you see a pretty good stop, he's going to beat his teammate out. Dave?
Bottom of the screen, it is Noah Gragson hitting from 3rd place. He said, I need some help in the right-handers. There's a number of those here in Indianapolis. They'll get a track bar adjustment for that. There should be a wrench going into the rear window to make that adjustment, and 4 Goodyear tires and Sunoco fuel, guys.
That is a game of chicken at pit road speed right there between the two call-it cars. And it looks like Allmendinger is creeping ahead.
We'll see. Will he get called for it? Did he go too fast? Who was the closest on the tack?
Oh, man.
Allmendinger wins the race off pit road with Haley, but they were side by side for almost the length of pit road. Daniel Hemrick, he came out first, didn't change tires, just filled it with fuel.
It was sketchy, wasn't it? I was nervous. Like he's faster than him.
Wow. Okay, well, that's interesting. We'll wait to see if NASCAR says anything about that. And while we're waiting for that, let's find out where Rutledge Wood is.
Rick, I'm over here in the garage on top of one of the Penske haulers. I heard there were some Cup drivers over here when I was across the way there with the fan, so I made my way over. I got a great view of Junior and a great view of Turn 7. The crazy thing is, my buddy Andy Lally that we talked about at the beginning of the race made up to P5 before that stop sign. That's a huge accomplishment for that whole team, BJ McLeod Motorsports. You know, when you look at what started that team and BJ's love of racing, getting out here, to give a guy like Andy Lally, an IMSA driver, a champion, a shot out here, to come out here and shake it up is pretty impressive. Spencer Pompelli was in 18th before that pit stop as well. So, man, the ATL guys are representing today. Fun race. I love how different it is here, and you get a really good view. I'm jealous, Junior. You got a nice setup over there, buddy.
Hey, I want to know when you're going to go MMA fighting with Andy Lally there, Rut. I mean, you get down there in the ATL with him. That'd be some great video.
Oh, Steve, you know what? Anytime you're ready to go, I'll do it.
Wow.
But okay. I'll meet you right there in the middle.
No. Andy said he loves to fight, so that's why we were throwing you. Actually, we were asking if you would be interested in
Guys,
stepping into the ring.
Just like racing, MMA, it's a team sport. So if Steve goes, I'll go.
Understand. That is one of Andy Lally's ways to, kind of keep his mind focused. He does MMA.
Yeah. And we went back. We heard NASCAR say everybody was good on pit road speeds. It just Allmendinger a little more efficient with his pit road lights.
Take a look at the points earned today. Haley, 19 points with his 2 finishes in the first 2 stages. And how about Riley Herbst? 11 points already in this one. And remember, Michael Annett didn't start this race, so no points for Michael Annett.
And it's paying off. Herbst currently just inside the playoffs, showed up outside the playoffs. 1 point between the 98 and the 1 as they run currently. And we hate it for Michael Annett. Listen, I would much rather see Herbst and Annett battle it out both on the racetrack. Michael had some lingering effects from that leg injury that required surgery. He toughed it out a week ago at Watkins Glen. Tried practice here, was unable to complete the weekend and drive the race, so we hope for a speedy recovery for Michael. But Herbst still has to do his part, and he's doing it so far.
Yeah, and there's still 5 races to go before the end of the regular season.
All right, remember this yellow, this is the end of the stage. Let's go back. This Good RX car, Will Rogers unfortunately brought it out. Well, this is a great look. This is looking back at the right rear tire. It's during the pit stop, tire on, tire off. And you're going to see, you almost see a little glow. And you wondered if that like sun or what that is. And then you hear the car stall. And you see flames. The fire and the smoke. And then eventually he had to pull over and get out of the car. So he was pitted from the 8th position, so was having a good run until this mechanical failure finally eliminated him from the race.
You saw the smoke inside the cockpit. He jumped out quickly. How about we look at our Toyota driver update and the recovery that the 54 and Ty Gibbs have made in this race. Remember, they got spun earlier, and so now up front and coming up on just 19 laps to go. Take a listen to the radio for the 54 team.
You're just going to use clean air to your advantage and hold off whoever you can. But what I don't want you to do is feel like you have to overwork when you're at a 9-lap tire deficit and get yourself wrecked or anything like that.
Great coaching by Chris Gale, the crew chief. He says, listen, clean air, being the leader, that's your friend. But look, we know you're 9 laps. We spun out. We had to do something different. We were one of the first cars on pit road. And you can't be a he-man. You can't make it up. I mean, you have used tires. You can only drive the car to its limit. So we'll see if he can remain patient. I mean, it's going to be tough. The 22 Cindric's going to line up right next to him. And important to point out, Allmendinger, Haley, outside the top 10. So still in this race with 20 to go. But watch turn 1. We'll see if Haley can have another one of those big dives.
Fuel not an issue for Gibbs. I mean, it's 32 laps from when he came to pit road. You had mentioned the window was over that, and we've had caution laps.
Yeah, assuming they got it full and all that was fine, he should be fine. So we see the front row. If we look back a little bit more, there you go. There's the 2 Collett cars with those bright yellow roof numbers, Haley and Allmendinger side by side. They're important to watch because I think they're going to want to make it up as quickly as possible because Cindric is really their goal, and they know he's going to get out there and stretch his legs the best he can.
Where they're lined up, the 16 is going to be kind of boxed in to be able to dive to that inside line, but the 11, we've seen it before on this restart. He'll be lined up on that inside going into turn 1. Opportunity for him to take advantage of some of these guys.
And how about Chase Elliott? We haven't talked to him. He's right there. And that 1 car, Michael Annett, we just talked about it, filling in for Michael Annett. Chase Elliott in the 1.
Myatt Snyder, also a great run up here in the second row for the restart. Sam Mayer just behind him, and that number 8, the white car. As we get ready for the restart and the starts of stage 3. Big jump by the 54 of Ty Gibbs. He has the advantage. Austin Cindric going to get a little help from Myatt Snyder as they go down into turn 1. Here comes Harrison Burton as well in that Dex Imaging number 20 as they go into 1.
Daniel Hemrick is the first one jumping out of line. He threw the block on Haley. Haley's got to follow him through. 54 of Ty Gibbs away with the lead. You got Cindric away with second, and they are stacked up now from third on back. Here they come to the right-hander. This is turns 3 and 4. Right now, as they work through 5 and 6, it's all Ty Gibbs and Austin Cindric. The front 2 as everybody snakes their way to the back straightaway.
These guys are all trying to get themselves sorted out as they work side by side through turns 5 and 6 in front of the field down into turn 7. Gibbs leads by a couple car lengths over the 22. Cindric side by side back there for 4th. the 8 Carlin Bear, and the 20 of Burton, who's been struggling all day with that front end, a little bit damaged from that earlier incident.
You see Harrison Burton has had a lot of damage trying to claw out a finish, but the battle up front kind of stretched out a little bit. So, once again, this heavy braking zone, everybody's trying to block each other from trying to make it advance. Allmendinger trying to make a move underneath Austin Dillon right there on the outside of him now. See if he can stay alongside him. Now they're both going to be pretty slow coming to this front straightaway. Austin knows that, so he just lifts, kind of gives the spot up to keep somebody from advancing on him getting into turn 1.
AJ's looking for another spot, isn't he, Rick? Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you, but we thought he'd be on the defense. He's still on the offense while at the front. Cindric's out of line.
We'll see how aggressive he is as he dives into turn 1. Cindric trying to take the lead away from Ty Gibbs.
He's there. He'll dive it in, but here's Gibbs. He's got lane preference coming into turn number 2. Side by side they race. They lean on each other. Cindric, Gibbs, and now Myatt Snyder is in the mix. Front 3, this is the battle for the lead you're looking at in turn 4. Cindric gets away. Now Ty Gibbs is just trying to hang on to that number 2 spot. Myatt Snyder on the curves, and they're banging corner panels. Sam Mayer's around out of 6. He'll spin to the inside, hard into the tire barrier. A lot of damage on the right front of the Sam Mayer car, who got crossed up coming out of turn number 6.
Yeah, that's definitely going to possibly bring out a yellow. I don't know if Sam will be able to get that car out of the grass there, but a little contact between him and Chase Elliott going through turn 5 and 6. You have to remember earlier in the race, in turn 7, there was contact between them 2 drivers that sent Chase Elliott around. Those guys trying to race side by side through that kink is very difficult to do. You saw ahead of them, Myatt Snyder allowed the 54 to have that position, would not go through there side by side with him. Sam's going to pull off here, right beyond turn 7. I'm looking right at the car. It's going to bring out a yellow. Look at the replay. So right in front of him, Myatt Snyder's gave up this same situation with the 54 car, but these 2 drivers, both of them wanting this position, decided to race through there side by side. A little bit of contact. I think Sam sees that curb that those drivers jumped earlier in the race, made an avoidance, a quick movement in the steering wheel to miss that, and spun the car out into the tire barrier trying to avoid launching over that curb.
Yeah, Junior, he really had little choice right there. Chase Elliott underneath him used up a lot of racetrack. Chase can't see that curb. The guys on the inside, they don't know where it is. There's not a reference. So Sam got put out there and really didn't have many options, other than try to go around it, and a good day is over.
Yeah, I think, that's the...
We're still green, though.
They are still green. So Sam's been able to move the car beyond some tire barriers over here, so he's out of the way. That's why we're able to go to green. Back to the battle toward the front. 3rd position, A.J. Allmendinger is taking that over from the 1 car, Chase Elliott. Chase now just in front of Ty Gibbs.
See this battle coming toward me. All kind of spread out a little bit. We know Ty Gibbs has had a tire deficit, so you heard his crew chief say, hey, don't do anything silly. They're going to be faster than you. And that's what he's done. He's done a nice job of managing this situation and keeping himself in position following Chase Elliott, Dave.
And just keep in mind how this all came together. Michael Annett practiced this 1 car yesterday in the only practice session. He was given the night to see how he felt. Remember, he had surgery just a few weeks ago, had some time to recover and race last week. But in the morning, he told his team, I simply cannot go. Mike Bumgarner, the crew chief, told me, we learned that about 8 a.m. this morning. I said, when did Chase get the call? He said, I think we woke him up when we called right after that. The good thing for Chase Elliott is that he has driven junior motorsports cars in the past, and they were able to easily fit him into this car and understand what Chase needed behind the wheel. All day today, Chase has been mainly critiquing himself, saying the car's okay, I just need to hit it better, and that's good lessons for him for tomorrow.
Yeah, Dave, he continues to get better lap after lap. Right now, Chase Elliott running in the 4th position, again filling in for Michael Annett. Austin Cindric is out in front. He's got a 1.6 second lead over Myatt Snyder. Then it's A.J. Allmendinger, Chase Elliott, Ty Gibbs. They are the top 5. Austin Dillon, Justin Haley turning some very fast laps now, right now in 7th. Noah Gregson, Harrison Burton, and Spencer Pompelli are all inside the top 10. We're going to go NASCAR nonstop. You won't miss a thing. Here's the pass for the lead. Austin Cindric makes the move by Ty Gibbs.
At Toyota's national sales event, we don't just help you get the perfect vehicle. We're here to open new doors that lead to your road to greatness. Your journey starts at Toyota's national sales event.
Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome to Sonic. May I take your order? One crave cheeseburger.
I'm on it.
Crave cheeseburger, almost ready. On my way.
Someone pass me the crepe sauce.
Almost ready on the burger.
One Sonic crave cheeseburger.
T-Mobile gives you more ways than ever to get out there. We're America's largest 5G network. So get out there. Take the epic iPhone 12 with 5G with you. Current and new customers can get up to 4 on us. Experience it with our new Magenta Max plan with unlimited premium data that can't slow down based on how much smartphone data you use. And connect your devices on the go with 40 gigabytes of high-speed hotspot data included. That's right, unlimited premium data in the iPhone 12 on us. Get out there with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G.
Get up, get moving, and gradually reduce grays the easiest way. Just step into the shower with Control GX, the first and only shampoo that blends away a little gray with every wash for a subtle, natural look. Control GX from Just for Men.
Every customer has their own Safe Light story. This couple loves camping adventures, and their SUV is always there with them. So when their windshield got a chip, they wanted it fixed fast. They drove to Safe Light Auto Glass for a guaranteed same-day in-shop repair. We repaired the chip before it could crack, and with their insurance, it was no cost to them.
Really?
That's service you can trust when you need it most.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
It all builds up to this at Darlington Raceway.
If you're going to kick off the playoffs,
good stop, guys.
Why not do it big?
Green flag is up.
Like 2 races for the price of 1 big.
Whoa, Kyle!
Martin Truex Jr. dials the bottom.
Like Southern 500 big.
I got into the wall.
The only thing bigger than the action will be the experience of seeing it live.
Bring it home, bring it home.
And that might just be too tough to tame. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
Football is back with a huge kickoff game. We've got the Buccaneers. Not that kind. There you go. The champs playing the Cowboys. Not even close. Cowboys Bucks. NFL kickoff on NBC and Peacock.
Already a big day for Team Penske as Will Power won the IndyCar race earlier. Right now, Austin Cindric is running up front, and another Penske driver hanging out with Rutledge.
Right, Rick, I found Brad Keselowski over here at Turn 4 watching. Man, what do you think about this? Are you ready for the Cup race tomorrow?
This is a heck of a view, and there's a race going on, too. You got the party deck over here, turns 4, 5, 6. I was down here. We just saw Sam Mayer spin out in the wall. A lot of action, for sure.
Are you ready? I mean, one practice, qualifying tomorrow, this is crazy.
Yeah, ready enough, right? Ready enough, but you're never going to be fully ready for a road course race. Very limited practice, but watching Xfinity cars, trying to soak up and learn what I can.
Have you noted where to not go airborne? Because we just saw Denny Hamlin's watching that as well.
Yeah, I feel like there's an off-road truck race here as well. You know, you saw the big jumps, you saw it in IndyCar and now the NASCAR side. So I saw Kevin Harvick just a few minutes ago, and he told me to look out. And then I saw the replay, and I'm like, yes, sir.
Ivan Stewart, the Iron Man, looks like he's stopping by. Brad Keselowski watching for the race tomorrow on NBC. It's going to be huge.
At 1 o'clock, start time for the Cup race tomorrow. Looking forward to that. We'll kick it off with Countdown to Green at 12:30 again on NBC. Make sure to join us for that. And Parker, it looks like Myatt Snyder putting together some pretty good laps here.
He was. He's now just falling back from second, but what a great run by Myatt Snyder here, just getting passed by Allmendinger and Chase Elliott there, but in the top 5. And, you know, I was talking to him earlier today, and he said, I watched last year's race back, and one thing I noticed, with about 5 or 6 laps to go, Justin Haley was in 5th place. He finished 2nd. He said, if I can just be in the top 5, which I think we have the speed to do late in this race, I still think we might have a chance of getting into victory lane here. So he's struggling a little bit under the brakes and been struggling to drive off late in the corners, but definitely a great run for Myatt Snyder here in the 2.
And the 2 cars with the most pace on the racetrack, in my opinion, are the 2 cars. Allmendinger in 2nd and Haley in 5th. You know, they decided to stay out there and got that caution, and now they're trying to race from behind, Dave.
Guys, we heard Rick mention earlier Spencer Pumpelly having a good run today in the Johnny Davis Motorsports 0 car, and it's actually pretty amazing. Spencer is in this car because Jeffrey Earnhardt, who normally drives it, stepped aside, wanted to get some points from an experienced road course racer. As you see Andy Lally, another experienced road course.
Trying to defend against Haley. Pretty impressive to get that car back to be able to run on the racetrack. As we see again, Spencer Pumpelly currently running in the 11th position. Andy Lally just behind him. You see the 7 of Justin Allgaier back there as well. Myatt Snyder, look at the run he's got now as trying to defend against Haley. Haley, as you mentioned, one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. Allmendinger and Haley have been quick. Haley now up into the 4th position. He'll be chasing after Chase Elliott. It's Cindric, Allmendinger, Elliott, Haley, and Snyder, the top 5.
Myatt Snyder getting gobbled up here pretty quick. Justin Haley has gotten by, and now he looks in the rearview mirror, and here comes Ty Gibbs right behind him in the 54. You're watching the battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. This is heading into turn number 3, a right-hander. Everybody now floating out wide into turn number 4. They'll cut down to driver's right. They'll hit the gas very briefly and now open it up. And here's turn 5. There's turn 6. Justin Haley and company through that, headed to the back straightaway.
Cars get a little strung out right there through those corners down this straightaway. You see AJ heading off into turn 7 with Chase Elliott seeming to get better and better as this race goes on. We saw the same thing from Chase at Road America in the Cup race. Not really quick right out of the gate. Got better and better, ended up being the car to win that race. And there's a lot of Cup drivers watching this race doing, oh no, you just gave Chase Elliott a lot of laps on a racetrack that a lot of these drivers don't know anything about. And Chase Elliott, with no practice, just a few laps qualifying, has found his way to get this car to the top 3. Chase Elliott is not a good road racer, a great road racer. This experience will help him a ton tomorrow.
And it's interesting because we talk about how Chase Elliott has become one of the best road course racers right now in NASCAR. He never won an Xfinity Series race. When he ran in the Xfinity Series and won a championship, his best finish was 4th. He did it 3 times. And now all of a sudden in the Cup Series, he is phenomenal on the road courses. So Chase Elliott, he's up to the 3rd position. We're going NASCAR nonstop. You won't miss a thing.
Jason, did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more?
Cool.
So what are you waiting for? Michaela Maroney to get your Frisbee off the roof?
I'll get it.
Whoa.
Here you go.
Thank you, Michaela.
Dude, get it. I'm not getting it. You get it. You threw it. It's your Frisbee.
Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
You know what I remember when you were born?
Oh, you look great.
Get up, get moving, and gradually reduce grays the easiest way. Just step into the shower with Control GX, the first and only shampoo that blends away a little gray with every wash for a subtle, natural look. Control GX from Just for Men.
Hey, look at this. New Kit Kat Thins. They taste like Kit Kats and they are thin. Creamy and crispy and they are thin. You can see why we call them Kit Kat Thins.
When a threat from fire and water damage is at its biggest, hand the cleanup over to the team that stays with you until even the smallest detail is taken care of. 1-800-SERVPRO, the #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
No pressure from behind, 5 seconds.
Jimmy Johnson trying to win his first championship. Jimmy Johnson.
One flag south.
It's never been about racing anyone else.
I am the regular season coming to a close. And what happened left eyes wide open with displays of dominance.
And Larson is long gone.
Long shot surprises.
I cannot believe this.
And tracks that turned veterans
What the hell are we doing?
into rookies.
I'm all up, bud.
I am still not done. In fact, I'm saving the best for last and a playoff spot for anyone that wants it bad enough. I am NASCAR.
Ryder Cup, September 24th to 26th on NBC, Golf, and Peacock.
So next Saturday, the Xfinity Series, we're going to be running at the 2 Mile Michigan International Speedway. That race coverage on NBCSN beginning at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. And a reminder, there's just 5 races to go in the regular season for the Xfinity Series. Different, obviously, than what's taking place for the Cup Series. There's only 3 races to go there in the regular season, but 5 races remain in the regular season. We talked about championships and locking into the playoffs. The big day for Michael Annett not being in the car, Riley Herbst in the car, gaining a lot of points. So those types of things are coming into focus now as we get close to the end of the regular season.
There you see the points as we run, and Herbst is +9. But another interesting thing is Clements, even Jones, they're dropping back into this battle at the bubble. Annett, although he is losing out right now, still has an opportunity if he can outpoint Herbst or Clements or any of those guys. It was really a 2-guy battle, but it's starting to shape out into about a 3 or 4 car battle here for the bubble line.
Austin Cindric right now with a 3.6-second lead, Dave.
Yep, being chewed into just a little bit by Allmendinger. But the reigning series champion, one of the things that made him so good last year and continues to make him good this year is the diversity of his talents. He's won 4 times this year, none of them on a road course, which was his significant talent when he came into this series. So today, if he can add this to the list, why not? And when I talked to Austin earlier today, I caught up to him studying for this race, while at the same time he was studying for tomorrow's race, looking at data and watching the IndyCar race. So not only is he very talented, he was triple tasking and taking advantage of this great weekend we have here at Indianapolis.
Could be a great day for Team Penske. Will Power wins the IndyCar race earlier. Austin Cindric currently has a 3.5-second lead over Allmendinger with 7 to go.
This is all really good as long as we don't have a late yellow. You know, that these guys really can't get away from each other when you bunch them back up. But as long as they stay under green, this 22 car has the pace and the lead to be able to put together great corners, not be pressured into making mistakes, not be under attack from A.J. Allmendinger. But if we get that yellow, the whole game changes.
Yeah, remember back to last year's race, Allmendinger and Cindric leaned on each other hard. Ultimately, I feel like they both said, well, you're not going to win. Yep, that's right, you're not going to win either. And they both, had great chances to win the race and just got into a battle, and it went away from both of them. So if you get that, drivers never forget. Be interested to see how aggressive it gets. Saw Cindric right there. Back of the car, slid around just a little bit. Still good pace. That last lap, he was about a 10th.5 faster than Allmendinger.
Allmendinger looking for any opportunity that Cindric gives him. Back here in the 10th position, Harrison Burton. Parker?
Right, and I got to give him a shout-out for this recovery on this 20 car. He was involved in that incident lap 1, hopping those curves, gets a big slide there. You can see how messed up that front splitter is. This car at one point in the race didn't have the sway bar connected. They changed that. They changed the left front shock. They got that splitter pushed down. The team jumped on this car, and now he finds himself in 10th place. He's pitted 6 times in this race compared to the leaders who've only pitted twice. This is a great recovery by Harrison Burton, this 20 team, to get into the top 10.
What a battle this is right here. That got tight coming into turn 1. Noah Gregson almost turning Myatt Snyder. Myatt's been able to hang on to the spot. This is the battle for the 6th position. You got Myatt in 6th, Noah Gregson in 7th as they head to turn 7.
Yeah, Noah had pretty good pace at this racetrack last year. He's kind of been under the radar today, but working himself into a battle for 6th position. Myatt struggling just a little bit with the balance of that car as he's starting to slide back through the top 5. Noah's going to try to set him up here off of turn 10 for an opportunity at turn 11.
Yeah, 2 young drivers. Myatt got that win early in the year, but it's been tough since then. Noah Gregson, he's had a really tough start of the year. Both of these guys just need a calm day, right? Just a day where they don't have problems. Noah's been getting them lately. Myatt Snyder's been fast all day. But Noah, I just feel like that 9 car, they've started to get solid. They started to get good, consistent finishes, and I think we counted them out early, but as these playoffs approach, they may be a threat.
As we see on the screen, Ty Gibbs comes to pit road. We thought he'd be fine on fuel. From all the information I had, I thought he would be good, but he came to pit road for a reason. I'm not sure if this is a fuel situation or a tire situation. We'll have to see. Maybe they're not getting as good a mileage as we thought.
Steve, it's fuel for sure. They said if the fuel pressure changes to the low side, bring it to us. He said it was way down just to 8 pounds, and so he said, yeah, it's going to stumble, and it did bring it down. So Ty Gibbs, after starting 5th, leading 4 laps today, it looks like his amazing run this year will not continue today, but don't forget, he'll be back for more next time, next race.
Only 27 laps on that tank of fuel with some yellow, so surprising. Maybe they didn't get it full, or maybe we just are off on our fuel calculations, but we haven't heard any other conversation from the leaders. They're going to have to go, you know, close to 28, 29 laps for some of them.
Still a lot of pressure here between Myatt Snyder and Noah Gregson. Gregson still looking for win number 1 in 2021. Myatt Snyder has a win. He's locked into the playoffs. Coming up on 4 laps to go from Indianapolis Motor Speedway and the road course.
And Rick, you see the gap, 4 seconds from Cindric to Allmendinger, Elliott, Haley, the top 4 as we watch this battle between the 9 and the 2. Really, this all came about that pit decision. At the end of stage 2, Cindric pits under green, gets his pit stop done, the call cars stay out, the caution comes out. That gives Cindric the track position.
And with less than 4 laps to go, here comes Austin Cindric through this end of the racetrack. He's got a great lead. He's almost got a 4-second advantage over A.J. Allmendinger. And just watch how he floats the car in here. Just eases it down on the rumble strips. He's not asking more than the car can give him. And he's very smooth at this portion of the racetrack. He's just leading turn 6 right now.
Yeah, if he gets a win here today, he's going to tie A.J. Allmendinger as a 5-time road course winner in this series. Here's the battle right here. Still going on between these two. Oh! The 9 car hangs a tire off the racetrack, almost spins himself out, and then right behind him, Austin Dillon. Where did he come from? He had no pace all day long. They've worked hard on this car to put him in position. Austin's hung in there, battling with these guys as they're fighting it out for this position. It's allowing Austin to become a part of it. They're going through turn 8, 9, and 10. Nobody close enough to really make a move just yet. They're going to try to set each other up in one of these long braking zones to be able to make a pass.
Hey, talk about Austin Dillon. He's worked really hard, knowing how important road racing is. Big improvements. We haven't seen him contending for wins, but, you know, we would see him running 28th, 32nd, and now he's starting to run 12th, 14th, 15th in the Cup Series. So a big improvement from Austin Cindric, but it's come through hard work. It's come through dedication. That's why he's here today. Get that road course experience. Remember, he spun in turn 1. Just a good recovery.
Under 3 laps to go, and we mentioned Austin Cindric and records being broken. Well, now he has passed Marcus Ambrose for the most laps led in Xfinity Series in road course racing.
Here's the battle for the number 3 position. Chase Elliott looks in the rearview mirror. Justin Haley starting to loom large in that rearview mirror. That is a great battle. And Justin Haley, who's done a great job today, will take it into turn number 4. He's trying to get around Chase. And right now they battle for that 3rd position. Elliott's just trying to hang on to the car as they glide through that chicane headed to the back straightaway.
Haley has just a bit newer tires, a few more laps. You can see the balance and the grip going away on this number 1 car for Chase Elliott. Chase gets down here into turn 7. Not quite as much performance in the braking zone as Haley closes in, but Chase has a really, really wide arc. Uses a lot of curb right there. Look how he tries to get way over here to set himself up for this corner here so he can get a good drive off.
Yeah, just using all the racetrack. It's such an important part of road racing. It helps set you up for the upcoming corner so you can get the angle right. See how far out he is. Oh, like that right front breakup. Just a little bit. No damage done. Look how far to the right he gets. Just trying to get the car to turn, leave that corner straighter to get the rear tires. Now a problem. Out of the groove, Haley taking that spot.
Interesting, because Haley will be full-time in the Cup Series next year. Maybe a little lessons learned here in the Xfinity Series following after the reigning Cup Series champion in Chase Elliott. But it's Haley now who has taken the spot away and is third, chasing after Cindric and Allmendinger.
Less than 2 to go. Haley right now is just trying to leave Chase Elliott in his wake, and that's exactly what he'll do. Coming out of turn number 1 and through turn 2, Haley up strong into throttle in the gearbox. Elliott starting to fade here as we work with less than 2 laps to go at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That's a great shot of Elliott. He's just trying to hang on to this race car, trying to bring it home into the top 5. Shouldn't have any problem with that, as again, this battle is headed towards Dale Jr. in 7.
Yeah, not much of a battle anymore. I think the one car understands the grip just isn't there to be able to put up a fight. We watched the 22 car with a very comfortable lead. Cindric through these final corners here, headed up to Jeff Burton and the white flag.
Well, you can see right there, Marcus Ambrose, A.J. Allmendinger. Cindric, if he gets this win, will tie those guys. Kyle Busch with 4, Ron Fellows with 4, Terry Labonte. 2 great names, Fellows, Labonte. Austin Cindric, you guys mentioned it earlier. Penske driver won the IndyCar race. What a great day for Mr. Penske if he could get a win in this doubleheader.
A little over a lap to go now as they come up on the start-finish line. It's 1 lap to go, presented by Credit One Bank. One more time around this almost 2.5-mile road course here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Austin Cindric has really put on a great display here. He's led 28 laps already, a big day for the family. Tim Cindric is here. He's the president of Team Penske. Normally he's on the road. He's following IndyCar, and a part of that series as it goes from track to track, he's able to now watch his son. Megan, his mom, normally took him to the racetrack when he was a kid. She's able to watch and enjoy what Austin is able to do. So a big day for the Cindric family and potentially a big day for Penske.
Come down this back straightaway, just a few more corners away from kissing the bricks here at Indy. He's on a 6-race winless streak in road course. Even though he's dominant at these tracks, this is his longest drought. Trying to hope to come around these final few corners and end that. You know he's excited. Coming around to you, Burton. A few more corners with his 22 car. And he's got himself a win.
Yeah, Junior, I told you this morning, I thought the field had closed the gap a little bit on Austin Cindric. He looked at me and said, nah, hadn't happened. You were right, Austin Cindric. Just so smooth today. Didn't look like he had the best car early in the race, but just managed it. Nice job coming to the start-finish line.
Looking for his 5th win of 2021 and looking ahead to 2022. He'll be a full-time Cup Series driver, driving the 2 car for Team Penske on the Cup side. But today he's going to win at the historic Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Cindric gets the win.
You are the man. That was... Pit crew, you guys are incredible. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Austin, help.
Celebration all around for the 22 team. A great day once again. Now a sweep on Saturday for Team Penske. Will Power wins the IndyCar race. Now Austin Cindric wins the Xfinity Series race. He'll race tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the Cup Series race on NBC. His final start in the Cup Series for 2021 as we see still through the results.
You mentioned he gets to race tomorrow. The top 4, Cindric, Allmendinger, Haley, Elliott, all 4 will be in the Cup race tomorrow.
Could you have made that a duet? Do you know exactly what he was singing there?
I was just going to pass by and hopefully nobody was going to point out his singing. Heck of a driver. Well, let's go back to that. Heck of a driver.
What a day.
I used to roam, and when I dream about the moonlight on the Wabash, then I long for my Indiana home.
Jim Neighbors definitely a better rendition than what we're getting out of Austin Cindric, but I'm impressed right there.
I'm very impressed. Very impressed.
Hope it's better than your second. I'm sure Jim Neighbors.
Oh, Eddie's referencing Jim Neighbors there. Jim Neighbors, famous obviously for Gomer Pyle, and he's famous for singing back home in Indiana before the Indianapolis 500 for so many years. And now Austin Cindric wins at this famous racetrack. Only the second Xfinity Series race on the Indianapolis road course. The first one went to Chase Briscoe. Chase Briscoe now running in the Cup Series. The second race goes to Austin Cindric. He'll be racing in the Cup Series next year. It might be the new indicator. You win at the Indianapolis road course and you take that next step. Almost 50% of the laps led by Austin Cindric today. Allmendinger finishing second. Haley is third. Chase Elliott coming home fourth. Noah Gragson was fifth. Austin Dillon sixth. Myatt Snyder fell back to seventh, but his best finish on a road course in the Xfinity Series as we see Cindric climb out of the car. Crowd here acknowledging what he was able to do today.
Final stage, ran under green flag conditions, and Cindric, it's what he needed. Never put a wheel wrong the whole time. 19 straight laps under green.
The crowd responds. The flag actually fell off the stick. He didn't drop the flag. It came off the stick. And Dave Burns is down there with him.
Well, you know, not everything is perfect in this world, so we'll give the checkered flag another chance next time. But Austin, you just won at the Brickyard. Indianapolis winner, Austin Cindric.
Unbelievable. First of all, I got to thank Roger Penske for every opportunity I've had in my career, every opportunity he's given you race fans to enjoy this beautiful weekend with 3 race series. How awesome is this facility now, guys? It's amazing. I'm so proud to be part of this Penske family, and PPG, everybody, Ford, everybody that's put so much into my career. But obviously this racetrack is so much deeper than just that. My family history and what this place means to me. I mean, I can't even put into words what it means to win at Indianapolis.
We know you played the tuba in high school. What was going on with singing back home again in Indiana?
I didn't even know I knew the words that well. At least remember them that well, but hopefully I didn't make Jim Neighbors roll over in his grave. I know I was here the last time he sang the song, and it gives me goosebumps every time. I'm sure it does everyone else. So proud to be here, proud to drive for Roger, and proud to win at the Speedway.
You said proud to drive for Roger. All around Team Penske, you see the evidence of Indianapolis there. What does it mean? How big is it to take home a trophy?
There's nothing bigger. Nothing bigger.
There it is, the seriousness of it, because he's got more to do tomorrow, guys. Another race for Austin Cindric, and you fans, you'll be here to see it. Austin could win too, and it could be a Team Penske sweep tomorrow.
IndyCar win goes to Will Power. Xfinity Series win goes to Austin Cindric. There's a few Penske drivers that would love to find victory lane tomorrow. The very first time the Cup Series will run the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course. A new tradition starting tomorrow.
And you can see the relief, the excitement for Austin Cindric to get back to victory lane. Disappointment a year ago. He was one of the favorites, ran 5th. He was perfect today.
He gets the win. We'll talk to more drivers when we come back to Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and we'll see if we can get the checkered flag fixed for Austin Cindric. A huge day tomorrow after we saw a great day today. Tomorrow's schedule, 9 o'clock on CNBC. It'll be Cup Series qualifying. Again, a tradition starting on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course. Countdown to green at 12:30. That's on NBC. Make sure to join us. And then at 1 o'clock, just after, will be the green flag for the first ever running of the Cup Series on the road course. And, of course, post-race coverage will be on NASCAR America on NBC-SN. Taking a look at the playoff standings now. Austin Cindric, 5 wins, 33 playoff points already, and a dominant performance being put in by Austin Cindric, defending his championship in the Xfinity Series. Michael Annett, 13th now on the list. 12th is Riley Herbst, 10 points separating those two.
Yeah, Michael Annett, unfortunately, was not able to take part today due to injury, but Riley Herbst did what he had to do. He scored points in the stages, ran 8th in the race. So even though, Michael wasn't in the race, it was no guarantees. Riley came out and had a great run when he needed it. Now he has 10 points. Man, that's not much with 5 races still remaining.
Well, and you think about it, he gained 11 stage points today. And so that was almost the difference there as far as the difference right now between Herbst and Michael Annett. So once again, Speedway, Indiana, and the racing capital of the world will be the eyes all focused on tomorrow for the Cup Series right here at this racetrack. And we see now the officials are over there taking a look. That's just outside of turn 6 where we saw cars airborne right on the first lap, taking a look at that curb that's over there.
Yeah, probably want to see how the curb held up. It was tested today without a doubt. Some heavy impacts. We'll see what they decide here from the curbing, but it was definitely a point of conversation in the race. From lap 1, we saw some cars run out of real estate, and that curb was a big effect.
Steve, interesting you stay lap 1. Let's go back to last week, lap 1 of the IndyCar Series at Nashville. That's Marcus Ericsson. He got airborne at the start of that race and then went on to win it. That's how he came back after the front wing was replaced, put on, and then think about what took place today in the IndyCar Series. Here's McLaughlin. Whoa, airborne. That's right. Completely off the ground. And then the Xfinity Series, they did not disappoint. Look at these cars. Harrison Burton getting up. I mean, it was unbelievable how many cars hit that curb. And how about Chris Wright, Steve? This was your favorite, I believe.
Unbelievable. Well, the earlier ones were drivers left. This was drivers right. Just a huge launch of that car. The curbing's put in place to kind of, try to keep the cars on the racetrack. Here we go. In all seriousness, though, I am a pilot. Puts his pilot.
He's got his pilot's license.
Hey, listen.
Wow.
I mean, that's not a flight I would like to join him on, but it was definitely a flight.
I would wonder if he got clearance.
Yeah,
before he took off for that one. What a ride he had. And coming home second was A.J. Allmendinger. Let's hear from him. He was with Parker.
For the second week in a row, A.J. Allmendinger at a road course finished his second, this time to Austin Cindric. You were able to cut into his lead there at the end. What more did you need to run him down?
College Racing needed a better driver today, quite honestly. I messed up way too much early, got us all off track, and then just, it's tough sometimes with these road courses in the Xfinity Series with the way the stages line up, because you either win the stage and then you're kind of hurt for the next stage, and they did a great job. They went for the win and had confidence that they could restart up front and get out there, and we had to have really fast hyper-ice Chevy. I was awful today.
I just saw you have a discussion with Myatt Snyder. What was the discussion there between you two?
I just told him I liked his flames on his car.
A.J. Allmendinger obviously disappointed finishing second.
Do you think he really told him he liked his flames on the car?
I don't, and I know AJ is being a little hard on himself, but I'm going to put the blame 50-50. He may not have drove the perfect race. He absolutely made mistakes early. He sat on the pole, didn't lead the first lap, lost positions. But you go to the pit box as well. The Cindric, the 22 car, the stages are coming, and it has to be a decision in time. Do you want points or do you want track position? Cindric chose track position, pitted before the yellow came out. We saw the 7 of Allgaier try to get a pit road. Well, remember, both colored cars passed the entrance to pit road under green flag conditions, so they chose to run for the points. Now, look, it's their prerogative to try to race for the points, move up in the point standings, but I believe that was the difference maker. You give Austin Cindric the track position, 19 laps green. We could have saw yellow, but we didn't. Very hard for anyone to make up that much time, as you see right there. You mentioned dad/president of Team Penske in the house.
Yeah.
Mr. Zarnicki.
Yeah, a lot of people able to celebrate with Austin Cindric.
So I understand what AJ's talking about, but, you know, I thought Team Penske driver through crew really just performed very well today, right? Kept track position and ran some great laps.
Allmendinger again finished in second. His colleague teammate Justin Haley was third. Parker caught up with him.
Justin Haley led 17 laps today, finishes third. You got the lead early, but you guys chose to stay out and get those stage points in stage 2, which put you guys way back and had to drive to the field. Did you agree with that call?
I don't know. I'm not the race strategist. I'm just a driver. So I'm really proud of the third place. I think me and AJ probably had the best cars today. I think we showed that. Everyone on this Lead Flip to Go Protection Chevrolet team did a great job. Proud of Colleague Racing for second and third. It's just a difference of that restart right there. Just being in the right lane on the restart. At the end of stage 1, I was in the right lane, right? And then the start of stage 2, I wasn't. So just how the games go. This is my third trip to Indy, my hometown, and my third top 5. So I'm pretty proud about that we can come and run pretty good in our hometown.
You got the stats down pretty well. What's this do for your team looking forward as we rumble towards the playoffs to build the momentum for you guys?
Yeah, we came with a different package this weekend that was more fit to me, and I really enjoyed it and liked it, and I thought we could have good speed with it. So we've got a little string of races here where we've really put something together, and just gaining that playoff momentum is obviously key.
Great run for Justin Haley and his 11 team.
When Chase Elliott's day began, it was going to be maybe a chance to watch a couple of races and get one practice in. When did you get the phone call, and how enthused were you to actually get some laps on this track?
Yeah, I actually got the call. I was still asleep this morning when I got the call, and I rolled over and I had 10 missed calls, and one was from Chad Canales. It was the last one I saw. I was like, I've done it. I've slept through I've slept through practice, and I'm getting fired. It happened today. That's like nightmare fuel for a race car driver. So fortunately, that was not the case. Unfortunately, Michael couldn't drive today. Obviously, I hope the best for him, first and foremost. But it was an opportunity for me to get some more laps that I couldn't turn down on a new racetrack for us. So, yeah, it was a good experience from where I started the day to where I felt like we finished was a lot better. So I'm excited for tomorrow. Appreciate everybody at JRM, Chevrolet, Hendrick Engines, everybody for letting me come drive, and for Hooters for letting me come do it too. I have an event I got to get to. I'm a little late for, so really appreciate their partnership and looking forward to seeing those guys tonight and getting behind the wheel of their car tomorrow.
Heard you coaching yourself today a little bit over the radio. What was the biggest learn for you?
I don't know that there was one spot in particular. It was a lot of little things around the track. And then for me, just getting a little more smooth, throughout the day. I felt like I was kind of choppy and never found a good rhythm. And then that last run, I felt like I started to put some decent laps together. So felt better. So we'll see.
For today, Chase qualifies and races his Cup car tomorrow.
One of the great things about Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and with Roger Penske taking over, they've changed some things with Victory Lane. You actually take a lift to get up into Victory Lane. And right now, DJ and Kyle Petty are there with race winner Austin Cindric.
Yes, we are. Here, a great opportunity. I know that last year was a little disappointing as you battled late in that race. It kind of looked like that you were so focused on making this happen today. You weren't going to let this get away, and especially after Will Power took the IndyCar race earlier.
Yeah, it's obviously great motivation when your team definitely gives you an ante up, but no, it's an amazing job by my team. These guys spent 2 really late nights this week making sure this car was in tip-top shape, and that effort obviously pays off. The amount of effort that Roger and his team at IMS, Doug and Mark Miles, all the guys that make this facility so nice and so inviting to the fans. I mean, driving out on pace lap, seeing that many people sitting on the hills waiting for the race, it's so cool to see. And growing up going to this racetrack, it means the world to me.
Yeah, you talk about the amount of effort. What about the amount of effort you put into it? I know that
it's my job.
Yeah, no, I know it's your job. I know it's your job, brother. But you said when you walked up, I was just praying that last 14 laps that a caution didn't come out because it had happened to you before. Was that your main concern after we went green? Was just a caution, not anybody catching you?
Absolutely. I felt like I had the pace in the car, and like I said, I had the gap. So I knew AJ had to use up his stuff to try and get back up to us. And I felt like the last 2 races, Watkins, Lennon here, he and I have been really dead even. So I have a lot of respect for him. I feel like there's a lot of mutual respect between the two of us, and I'm glad we can laugh it off 90% of the time. No, it's great to have competitors like that push you, and obviously the no give up attitude goes a long way in this sport.
Okay, so you've had like 15 minutes since you won this, so we're going to move on to tomorrow already because we have a big cup race at 1 o'clock on NBC here tomorrow, and you're in that. And we saw you run really, really well at Road America in the cup race until you had a mechanical issue. What are your thoughts about tomorrow and your chances of sweeping the weekend here?
I got to get to the end, man. I got to get to the end, and I want that more than a win, honestly, because, like you said, Road America, we had a mechanical failure. Kansas, we ran in the top 10 and got taken out by a lap car. Like Daytona 500, we run up front and get in a big fiery crash, and so it's my goal to end my last Cup race of the year on a high note, get money line them those guys a good run that they deserve, as well as Miles Stanley and all the guys on the 33 car. You know, that team has to put in extra effort because those guys all have 2 jobs. You know, a lot of the 12 car helps out with us. So there's a lot of effort that goes into me running those part-time races. So I'm appreciative for that, and I want to make the most of it.
Okay, were you ever in a position, and the curbing over here in the back, right? First lap, we have an accident right over here. On the curb that's a little bit over towards, just past and you can see the monitors right here. There's a curb right past the ripple strips, and these guys got forced out here. You see these cars get up in the air right here. Did you see any of this from where you were at? And I've got another follow-up question.
So AJ and I had 2 opportunities for give and take. One was on the first lap of the race, and one was, I think, on the restart where Noah passed me. But it's give and take. But I feel like if there's a car that's going to hit it that wide on the corner, they're probably going to end up in the grass. But not sure of the result there. But overall, I think they did a great job with the track. I felt like it was pretty self-policing, and I think that's what they aimed for.
Yeah, you put a ripple strip over there, it should be self-policing because you're going to wipe yourself out. Here's what I want to know. They'll come from a racing family. I come from a racing family. Victory Lane here at Indy. Your granddad stood here. Your dad has stood here with Roger many times. What does it mean to you, to that right there, to stand here?
It's a racer's dream, man, and it's not the win. It's getting here and being able to compete. I think everyone that walks into this place, driving through Gasoline Alley for practice, knows what this means, and you guys know what this means. Yeah. And you know, I on my dad's side of the family, I mean, my grandfather Carl Cindric, we lost him earlier this year, but he struggled a lot of years to try and make the show, and it's about people like that really push motorsports forward. And I wish he was still alive to see that win today, and I know he's watching from above and making him proud.
Yeah, well, we know you got more things to do to go celebrate. I believe you probably wanted out there at the Yard of Bricks.
Yeah, man.
Enjoy. Great job today.
Yeah, congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Good luck tomorrow.
Yeah.
That tradition will continue. The kissing of the bricks. Austin Cindric has earned it. It was started by Dale Jarrett. That's pretty cool to get the attaboy from him. Tomorrow, the Cup Series will take on the Brickyard Road Course. That's right, a new tradition starting for the Cup Series tomorrow, 1 Eastern on NBC. Make sure to join us as that new tradition starts. Who will be the first ever Cup Series driver to win on the road course here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway? And Myatt Snider, a big race for him. Best career finish on a road course here for Myatt at 7th, and he's standing by with Rutledge.
Myatt Snider bringing it home 7th. Man, there were some battles out there today. I'd have to think 7th, pretty big accomplishment. I know it's not where you want to be. You'd like to be further up, but, man, that's a great day.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the RCR guys put together a great car because, you know, we had a lot of speed that whole run. I just needed a little more longevity out of it. Like, I was trying to baby it as much as I could and be easy on the throttle pedal, but we still lost a little bit of drive, and then ended up getting back to about 7th there. But yeah, we had a lot of speed there. I was able to keep up with the 22 there for a long time, and he ended up winning the race. So just really proud of the guys at RCR for putting together such a great Louisiana Hot Sauce Camaro. Great day for us, 2 top 7s in a row. We keep this momentum up, and we'll be really good for the playoffs.
Tell me about the conversation with A.J. Allmendinger. I didn't get to see that. What exactly did you guys talk about?
It's just a racing incident. He was a little upset. I kind of got into him at one point. I didn't even see the car in front of him, and I didn't expect him to check up that much. And so as soon as I saw the other car, I was like, dang. And I didn't want to run into him like that. And then he was real mad. AJ's really passionate about this, so he gets real mad in the race car. But you know, passion's good in this sport.
Absolutely. Thanks for your time, buddy.
Thank you.
Hey, car looked awesome out there.
So we've been
Fifth today for Noah Gregson, and in the mix, and by that I mean sometimes it was like a mixer out there today. How'd you avoid the carnage and end up with the top 5?
Well, we had a great Bass Pro Shop Chevy, especially in the second stage.
first stage we were just kind of too loose. I don't know if it's the Firestone rubber on the racetrack and our Goodyear rubber didn't mix with it, but it seemed like I had a lot more grip in the second stage, and then the track kind of got greasy there in the third stage. But overall, the Bass Pro Shop guys did a great job. It's a privilege to race here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and I wanted to kiss the bricks today. We had a solid run last year, but going back, if we could restart the weekend, I think we would have made some different changes at the end of practice yesterday, just some shock stuff and some other stuff. But super proud of our guys. Hasn't been the year that we wanted, but fun racing with all these guys. Congrats to the 22 team. They were pretty much across the field all weekend, but got up to the front and led some laps, or a couple corners, I guess, and got shuffled back and whatnot. But overall, fun day. A lot of fans out here. Thank you, fans. I love you guys, and appreciate all the support. And we'll go to Michigan next weekend and try again.
Noah Gragson, 5 races to the playoffs. He's solidly in on points right now. Gained some more today.
This is exactly what Noah Gragson wanted to do. He wanted to kiss the bricks at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
There's not a better gritty, grimy, disgusting kiss in your life, Rick. I've been fortunate to do it a few times as a team member. Just the history, the size of the moment, the size of the place. This is spectacular.
You can't wipe the smile off your face after that one either. That's nope. That's a great thing. Austin Cindric, mentioned growing up here. His family's been part of Team Penske for so long. His grandfather, obviously, part of racing.
And I love the fact, this racetrack was absolutely built around the Indy 500. The history was on the Indy 500. But now it's being shared. We've seen MotoGP. We've seen Formula One. We've seen Cup cars. Now we see the Xfinity Series cars on the road course. Just, I don't think it takes away from the history and the nostalgia of Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I think it stands on its own now as this huge venue. And it's just, I think it's awesome for the motorsport world that it's shared with so many different sanctioning bodies and series. I mean, you see what it means to this young man. Just great, super talented. I'm excited to see him tomorrow. Look, I think Sundays are much more difficult. The field is much tougher, top to bottom. But he's had pace. He had pace at Road America before he had that mechanical issue. So, I'm not saying he can win tomorrow. I'm not saying he can't. You heard what he said in his interview. He just wants to run all the laps.
He'll be running tomorrow. And I want to bring in the guys from around the track. Mike Bagley, you had a lot of excitement take place right there in 5 and 6. Also, right there in turn number 1. Some great things happening in front of you. What are we expecting for tomorrow?
I expect more of the same. Today, I thought it was relatively clean coming into 1. Things got a little bumpy there coming out of 4 into 5 and 6 with the curbs and all that are being tended to right now. But for the most part, everybody did a good job of managing the racetrack, managing the braking zones, and managing the passing zones here at this end of the racetrack. Now, I think that a lot of Cup drivers were watching this. Those that weren't in it were definitely tuned in to try to get a handle on it after practice today. I think we're in for a good show tomorrow. Dale, what do you think?
Well, I was definitely entertained over here in turn 7, 8, 9, and 10. I think we're going to see a lot of great action over here tomorrow. The Cup guys, oddly, don't have as much experience, so I'll see a lot more mistakes, locking up the brakes and all that. Really interested to see, Cindric in the Cup Series next year. I know he's got some unfinished business here in the Xfinity Series, but I really have become a bigger and bigger fan of this guy every year. His passion for not only the racetracks and what they mean, but the history of the sport is something I can really dig, and I'm becoming becoming a big fan of his as he continues to go through this series and moves into a very critical position next year with that 2-car at Penske. So that's going to be a lot of fun to watch the progression there. Tomorrow, I guess what I'm really most concerned about is if they're removing curbs in turns 5 and 6, and they're going to have to police track limits over there where guys can cut that sort of area. So that's going to change how they get through there, drive through there, and race through there a lot. We're not going to see exactly what we saw today. We won't see those curbs and damage that they caused. But now NASCAR is going to be in the position to have to govern track limits and not allow those guys to cut those corners. And Letarte can explain, what those track limits are and what the penalties are.
Yeah, Junior, I'm okay with them taking those things out. I mean, to me, it was just too much, especially the one on the outside. That just didn't make any sense to me. The grass is there. Let that be the limit. But other than that, today's energy at this facility was cool. It was really fun to be here. IndyCar race. We had Xfinity qualifying. We had the Xfinity race. It was just a fun day. The Xfinity race was good. It was a competitive race. It was fun over here watching them dive into turn 11, racing each other. Just a really good day. And I tell you what else, Junior. Rick Allen got a Gomer Pyle reference on TV. I didn't know we would do that during the race. But that might be the biggest moment of the day, Rick Allen with the Gomer Pyle reference.
Well, golly, fellas.
Oh, easy. Don't get too far now. Don't get too far. All right, so real quick, to touch on what Dale Jr. said, this right here is turn 5. That curb will remain. The one that was in here, straight across, that will basically make the track limits required. You'll have to run on the track side of that curb. It's this one on the outside. It was like in this area. Basically, I think the issue is we saw the lap 1 issue, but then you also saw Sam Mayer get pushed wide. He had nowhere to go but the grass. He ended up in the tire barrier. So just outside of turn 6, the orange curbing, it will be removed. The one inside turn 5, it will stay. I think that's a great combination. I do think you need it because of Dale Jr.'s point. You got to have track limits enforced, but you got to have some runoff to the left.
That should make the Cup drivers feel good that they won't have that as an obstruction that they're going to have to avoid. Another feel-good story from today was Andy Lally, who came home with a top 10 finish. A great run for him, and Rutledge is with him.
This is the 10th place finisher, Andy Lally. We talked about a bunch today. Man, that was an amazing day out there for you with this team.
Right. I know a lot of people at home might be like, why are you interviewing the 10th place guy? But BJ McLeod Motorsports, these guys put together probably the lowest budget by 2 in the top 10 here. But, man, the elbow grease and the heart that goes into it, I got to really thank these guys. The crew did so awesome. Thanks to BJ for the opportunity. Lemons of Love and Simcraft on our car. PCL Construction helped me out early in the year. But that was a battle. We started losing our brakes with about 15 to go, and I started padding. I messed up on the 20. Sorry, Burton. Yeah. Sorry, buddy. And he was heads up and gave me a berth, and we crisscrossed and went back at it again. And also thanks to Justin, because he could have probably used me up in that last corner to put himself in the top 10, but I think he knew how much we needed that. Really cool day. Now I get to do this again tomorrow, and that's pretty fascinating.
I mean, first time tomorrow for you in a Cup car in 10 years, but to see the look on this team's face, it was for them like you made it to victory lane. That's got to mean something special to you.
They hadn't gotten a top 10 ever before, like with the car out of their shop, so this is a first for them. I'm proud to do it. Proud anytime anybody runs top 10, you should be proud. There's guys in here finish 8th, 9th, 7th, angry with their day, but we're pretty content. We're pretty happy. We're going to take it to the trailer and be looking forward to tomorrow now.
How can you use what you did today? I know you've raced everything everywhere, but what can you take from this race today to use tomorrow?
A lot. I mean, especially considering it was 10 years since I've been in a Cup car, but now I've got more laps on this track than most of the guys going to start the race tomorrow. I've won here before in IMSA, now a top 10 in Xfinity. There's 3 or 4 things, especially as the tires get old, that I've learned that'll be even more prudent, more important on the Cup side with all that extra horsepower. So we got a couple things in our pocket now.
Congrats. Good luck tomorrow, buddy.
Thank you, buddy.
Andy Lally, Atlanta's finest right here. Your top 10 finisher.
Well, Atlanta's finest, the 46-year-old out of New York, though, originally. I mean, he was 2011 Rookie of the Year in the Cup Series. He has run full-time in NASCAR. You heard it. Driven everything is absolutely the fact. He is, an IMSA win here. And I think it's just great to see someone like, remember, it used to be the Cup Series that would bring in these kind of, quote, road course specialists. Not so much anymore. I think the depth at the top of the Cup Series makes it more difficult, but there's still this opportunity in the Xfinity Series, and what he's delivering to BJ McLeod, another top 10, it's just a great situation. I mean, the 7th overall, 4th of this season for that team.
Yeah, and he talked about it, the first one out of their shop. So a big day. We talk about tomorrow, qualifying early, then countdown to green at 12:30 on NBC, 1 o'clock on NBC for racing. We'll wrap things up from Indianapolis right after this. Next Saturday night on NBCSN, it's the IndyCar Series. They head to Worldwide Technology Raceway. That's in Madison, Illinois, just east of St. Louis, Missouri. That race coverage beginning at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Truck Series will race on Friday night. So a lot of action taking place there. Steve, we saw a lot of action here today. I think it started off with that first lap. We were surprised that A.J. Allmendinger struggled in turn number 1, struggled in front of Burton, but also those guys getting airborne over the curbs.
Shocked. I mean, we've seen a bunch of practice there. The curbing wasn't an issue. It became an issue in the race. But I call it even bigger than that. This is a weekend that I didn't think I would ever see. I grew up in NASCAR. I loved the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I loved watching IndyCar. Never would I ever dreamt that we could get these series on the same track on the same weekend. We had IndyCar and Xfinity today, the Cup tomorrow. So it's bigger than the race we saw today. It's even bigger than perhaps anything I have seen. So excited for the race fans to see the 2 premier motorsports series race on the same track.
Yeah, Will Power gets the win for Team Penske in the IndyCar series earlier today. Then it's Austin Cindric for Team Penske that gets the win in the Xfinity series.
Yeah, I mean, look at this place from above. It's unbelievable, right? It's Speedway, Indiana. It's one of its own. So excited for Austin Cindric. I mean, the guy sang on his cool-down lap. Sang us a song.
He did sing, and it was brilliant. Well, not such a fun day for some drivers. Few got air, few got losing parts, pieces off their car. Tomorrow now, the Cup Series action from the Brickyard, qualifying in the morning at CNBC. Then race coverage beginning at 12:30 p.m. Eastern on NBC. Make sure to join us for that. Now, it's Premier Lacrosse League.